What's going on, everybody? That's funny. I thought that I was live and I was waiting for the countdown. And I looked over and finally saw that it said go live with 60 seconds left. So sorry for the short countdown today. I definitely goofed. And also kind of funny, let me know how things look and sound. We're using a new camera, which should look hopefully much better. And we swapped the primary for the secondary. And hopefully at some point we'll have a ceiling camera, but anyways, it's kind of funny. So I'm looking at the lens right here, and this is the lens we used last week for the 100K stream. And at the end of the stream, we shot silly string everywhere, and I can see the marks of the silly string on the lens. So I will need to clean that. I will say that cleaning silly string after it's fresh out the can is much easier than waiting till later on. Once you let it dry, it's no longer silly, and it is just a pain in the butt. So probably the first and last time I used silly string in this room or on stream, or maybe ever again. Anyways, I hope everybody is doing great. Scott says, what is the new camera? I picked up an FX30, which is a new camera that came out from Sony. It's like their cinema line. It came out, I think, probably 2-ish months ago, and I ordered it over a month ago. It's just out of stock everywhere unless you buy the XLR combo, which adds another $400 or $500 to it. And since I use pretty much exclusively these wireless cantilever mics or just standard headphone mic jack, I didn't need the XLR input. So I ordered it from a camera company in Colorado, and it just showed up a couple days ago. I love it. Definitely the most expensive camera I've ever purchased, but usually every couple years I try to upgrade, and I've had the A6400 now for 2 or 3 years, and it's an amazing camera, but this thing does some cool things like 4K. It does 4K that's upscaled, or 6K that's downscaled to 4K, and so it's 4K at 120 frames, and a bunch of other awesome stuff. So I'm so far very impressed with the quality of it all. But I hope everybody is doing awesome. Last week was absolutely crazy. I know I see a lot of faces here that were there last week, but it was our 100K stream, and it was just nuts. I think that at the peak we had like 650 consecutive viewers at the same time, and in total, from beginning to end, because we allowed anyone to enter in even if they couldn't stay for the entire stream, we had like 1,200 entries, which was, for any live stream I've ever done, substantially more. So it was crazy. Thank you, everyone. I spent the majority of the day after, both Aaron and I, sleeping, and a good chunk of the next day just recovering from it all. And for everyone that won something, I've sent out emails to every single person that won. So, and I've gotten responses from almost everybody. Some of the manufacturers or the vendors have let me know it'll be a couple of weeks. I know Chikaro was our winner of the LDO V0S1, which is insane, and LDO said it would be roughly 3-ish weeks before it ships out. So I've done everything on my part to make sure everything is good, and yeah, everything should be squared away with that. It was amazing, and a ton of work. So today we are diving back into the Mercury 1.1. It's gonna be a pretty laid back stream. After last week's stream and the builds we've been doing, I was like, I think just sort of like a gentle step back into the projects and things like that. I'm not entirely sure what the next couple of weeks looks like. We have a lot more to do on the Mercury 1.1 as far as the Hydra and electronics conversion, but I'm thinking about getting some footage and making a video on the base conversion, possibly. So we have a lot more to do on this. I've been very busy. Between the 2 weeks ago now, I printed out all these parts, which is all of the legs for it, all of the skirts. I used the bamboo slicer to print this dual colored ABS, which is awesome. It's the center part of the, is there on-screen chat? On-screen chat, I broke it. I need to spend some more time working on it. But when I transitioned all of the streaming stuff to the other channel and then back to this one, it somehow on-screen chat isn't working correctly. So thank you for reminding me. I will play around with it, but I don't think I'll have it today. I tried briefly prior to this stream, and I couldn't get it going. So apologies for that. And I also printed out all of the Hydra parts. So we've got the arms for this. So we're pretty much ready to rock and roll. I just need to, again, decide when we're going to be doing this, and if I'm going to be doing at least getting footage of the Mercury 1.1 as is, to do a video on the base conversion of it. Additionally, Fabrico had told me that the lead screws for the Hydra were the incorrect length. And so my options were basically to wait for the correct length, or if I wanted to take an attempt at cutting them down, I could. So I need to measure how far off they are. I think they're just basically a little bit too long. And I have my miter saw, but my miter saw just has the stock wood blade, which I don't trust with metal. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do. I know that there's like the Diablo blade you can buy from Home Depot that can cut metal. It's like $100, I think, and I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. Basically, that's another possible reason why I might be holding off. Regardless, though, there's a lot of other stuff that I want to work on as well. Like the switch wire needs to be converted to a stealth burner from the afterburner. The V0.2 came out. If anyone hasn't seen that, I'm sure most everyone here has, but the 0.2 came out, and I would love to upgrade one of the V0s finally and include some of the mods that I purchased a long time ago for it, so that could be a cool build. Also, we've talked about this forever. I don't even know where the heck it is. I think I put it in a drawer over here at this point. Let's see here. Where are we? No. There we go. All of the ERCF parts, so we can build the ERCF. So between now and probably this weekend, I'll figure out what we're going to be doing next week, whether we're continuing the Mercury or we're taking a pause, just a short pause, so I can get some footage of it and figure out what I'm going to do with those lead screws. So there's a lot going on. Use a Dremel to cut the metal or an angle grinder. I don't have an angle grinder. Prior to moving here, my tool selection is very minimal. Anyone, Pi knows, but anyone that's been watching the stream knows that my tools are minimal. I've used a Dremel on stream one time to cut, what the hell was I cutting? I think it was the tension arm for one of the extruder tensioners on the V0 build that was too long. I do have a Dremel. My concern is I want to get a clean cut, and I don't trust myself using just my hand to get a clean cut. So we'll have to see. Hey, what's going on, Mitchell? Is it just me or is the picture a little dark? It doesn't look dark to me. Maybe this is a little bit dark, but if I go to this, it should not look very dark. It should look pretty bright. I've got a huge light pointing down on me, and then get a cheap angle grinder and some thin discs. Maybe I will. We'll see. Cheap angle grinder at Harbor Freight would work well. Maybe that's what I'll do then, because I don't know that I want to spend the $100 on the Diablo blade right now. I'm sure eventually I will, but there's a rig on Thingiverse to mount a Dremel for clean cuts. The color is much cooler than last week, so it seems not as bright, I think. Yeah, this camera right here is normally on a very flat color profile because I typically have added a color grade to it, but since we're using a new camera with a different color profile, I tried to match these two. So it's definitely different looking, not as warm, that is for sure. Yeah. I like the new camera, it looks better to me. Yeah, if I were to change back, like, I think I can change, oh, if I go back to, I can't even see, I don't know how well you guys can see this, but I got a taller tripod in here for everybody. Let's see if I rotate this knob. Nope, I screwed that up. I can't change it back right now. But yeah, the typical profile we've used forever is a very bland color profile. I've got the one from Harbor Freight, you're welcome to use it. Okay, I might take you up on that then. If it's not going to be that difficult, maybe I'll try just cutting them first since I have them. Anyways, other things, I've done a little bit of printing since last week, well, last couple weeks. This was printed out on the switch wire. It is a troll from Lord of the Rings. Which turned out pretty awesome. The color is definitely not very accurate as to what it looks like in front of me. It looks prettier in person. But I was pretty happy with this, and I've been doing some testing. I don't want to say too much. You'll see the video when it comes out. But then I also printed out this guy, which is another bust. This is a dwarf, I believe, from The Hobbit. I don't think it's Gimli from the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It's from The Hobbit. I don't exactly know his name, but these are both from Photos Mint. If anyone doesn't know either, if you do like printing out busts or just crazy models, Photos Mint has put pretty much all of his models for free up on printables, which is insane. I've been paying for Patreon for at least some months now, and with Patreon you still get really access to them all, but after the new year he decided all of his I think his original work might still be only Patreon, but like the stuff that's based off an existing character or something like that, it's all on printables, which is super cool. I don't know if I said hi Skydown. If I didn't, hi Skydown, hi Brendan. So yeah, I've been having some fun printing that, and I did get this up and working, which I think is something that everyone probably wants to see. So let's take a look at this. It's gonna be, moving this camera is gonna be a little bit annoying today. It doesn't have the ability to just slide up and down. It's on like a free post thing. The benefit of that is that this is a, like, God, I don't know, like a 7 to 8 foot tall tripod at least. So I don't have to have you guys on stilts anymore, but transitioning between, what the hell's the, I don't know what the easiest way is to show you guys this. Let's see. Maybe you can see it like that. But yeah, there's the Klicky. So we were working on the Klicky 2 streams ago, and I think we had most of it done in terms of actually installing it and the wiring of it, and it was the configuring that I hadn't done. Well, it took me a little bit longer to configure it than I'm super happy to admit, but the issue was something really silly, and I can show you guys that because I did say that no matter what I did, I would show kind of what the issue was and what the solution was. And massive shout out to Turtle. Turtle was the one I posted because I was screwing around with it and I was like, I'm not really sure what's going on. And Turtle said that it looks like your belt or your motor is skipping steps, which is not at all what I thought was causing it. And I noticed that the default value for the acceleration was pretty high. So it was under, let me see here, Klicky. Notifications aren't working either? That's super lame. Alert box. That sucks. Well, MakerSource, thank you very much for the renewing your membership for 2 months. I have to play around with everything. I, again, apologize. Transitioning between using one streaming software and 2 channels was incredibly challenging. Before last week's stream, I was so stressed in the morning. You could ask Aaron. I couldn't figure out how to get things to work, and I finally got it. But I need to figure out how to get the chat back on this channel, and I need to figure out why the alert box isn't working. So yeah, the on-screen notifications, that's on my end. It's not YouTube this time. Hey, what's up, Exodus? Jose, what's going on? So the issue I was having was under, God, was it under Klicky specific? Nope, that's a blank file. What was it under? Nope, not under there. No, not under macros either. Did I go to variables already? Ah, here it was. Okay, so this was the issue. The main issue I had was that the variable, no, not travel. I think it was the variable move acceleration was set to 4,000 and it just was not working. I anticipate that it is, because of the stock board and stock drivers that I'm using, but it basically, X and Y was homing, and then when it was trying to go to the docking position, it was skipping steps, and it would end up crashing somewhere into the middle of the back frame, and I kept thinking that it was just that my math was off or something with the origin of the printer wasn't correct, but nope. The second Turtle was like, hey, it looks like your belts are skipping, and I looked and saw like, wow, the acceleration is set pretty high for just such a simple move. I dropped those down and hit the same macro again, and it just worked beautifully. So that was a relief. I was very happy. I think I sent him a gif of just like, you're the real MVP. Amazing giveaway last week. Congrats to all the winners. Thank you, Jenna. So yeah, it's been working well since. The only other thing that also was an issue is that, so there's a couple options for this dock, if you will. So this is sort of like a dock extender that's needed. And I should have listened to Scott last week when he said that he needed the longest extension. But Dutch had mentioned that he was just using the shortest one. So I printed out the shortest one, and I think that's why we didn't install it in stream, was because I didn't have the extender. But if you're not transitioning over to the Hydra and you're using the stock cantilever bed, which I currently am, I won't be for long, these will be an issue. These protrude far, and because of the way Klicky works, hey, Steve's here. Everyone say hi, Steve. Sorry, Steve, the notifications broke after I transitioned everything for last week's stream, so it doesn't pop up on screen, but I can do this. Let's see. I think I still got the ability to use my, yeah, we still got confetti, and we still got cheer. That's it. We'll have to just I will do the notifications manually for myself. Yeah, the automatic bot one isn't working, so I'll just have to do that. Where the heck did I put confetti? There you are. Yeah, so I goofed by not using the right one, and so I had to go with the longest one that they had. And it's because the way the macro works is it wants to have a sideways travel, and then it needs to go backwards to grab the probe from the dock. And because with the middle one, it was like perfect. Basically, you had to go the longest one. I guess that's the easiest way to say it. If you're using a stock setup with the cantilever bed, you need the longest dock. That's what Scott had said, and I should have listened. But we've got it working now. So if I go dashboard, and I will quickly home everything here. All right, so we've got X. We have got Y. And then it comes out, grabs our Klicky, and removes it. Probe's roughly center of bed. I think I did a pretty good job of finding where center of bed is. Does a secondary click, and then it parks it in the corner. So that's working. We can also go ahead and run a mesh here. Let's just do that really quick. I'd already done that. I probably could adjust the bed a little bit. The deviation, or the range is 0.2 of a millimeter is from our highest to lowest point. I didn't care that much because, again, this is super temporary. We're doing Hydra, we're installing an AC mixed 6 bed, and so it's going to be much flatter. And honestly, I've had a lot worse beds than a 0.2 deviation from high to low. But it's been a little bit. I've moved it around. So we will go ahead and just quickly calibrate this again. We'll just name it default. And what happened? Horizontal move access can't, okay. We've horizontal move Z can't be less than the probe Z offset. Okay, so I've got an error. I wonder if that's, interesting. I swore that this worked fine the last time that I used it. Hey, there's Turtle. Turtle, the man of the hour. I was just telling everyone that you saved me when I couldn't figure out what was going on with the Klicky, and it ended up being that the acceleration was high and the motors were skipping. I just didn't think it was skipping steps. I kept thinking, especially with how quick it was happening, that I must just have set something wrong with the coordinates, which didn't make sense to me because I looked at the GitHub, I watched some videos, I was like, I don't get it, and I've done this before. Why is this not working? You need to increase the bed mesh height. Okay, which is going to be, I imagine under just my default printer.cfg, bed mesh, horizontal Z move. Okay, so let's increase it to, let's say an 8, see if that does it. Yeah, Turtle came in incredibly clutch last week, or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. I was like just not understanding what the heck was going on. And it ended up being something super simple. It needs to be greater than the probe offset. Okay, I must have changed the probe offset after the fact then. So one other thing you'll notice right now too is that the filament is just dragging on the inside here, which is less than ideal because it's rubbing on the belts. Also a temporary thing, I'm trying to figure out what the best setup is in terms of mounting the spool. There is a spool design or spool mount design up top right here that exists that I was debating on printing, but I kind of want to see if I can enclose it at some point, so I'm not really sure. I might end up just doing sort of a reverse Bowden setup where the Bowden tube sort of routes in a similar direction as this wire harness, and that way it keeps it off the belts. But yes, for anyone that sees this, this is not good, and I don't want the belts rubbing against the filament longer than I have to. Okay, let's see if I do it now, if this will work. Calibrate, calibrate. Nope, it's still... Okay, so what is the probe offset? Extruder, probe. horizontal move can't be less than probe's Z offset. I don't see. Let's see, pin XY offset, Z offset. Oh shoot, okay, I see the Z offset. Let me go back here. So Z offset's at the very bottom, 10.050. So I definitely need to go higher than what I've got it at, which is, so I must have ran the initial mesh before I'd done any of the Z calibration. So let's go down to bed mesh, which is going to be here, and let's do horizontal move, set to 11. There we go, that should fix it. Yeah, I was looking for inspiration in the Discord for where people are mounting their spools, and I don't know that I really saw kind of like a universal setup for how people were running their spools. I did see a couple, like one or two that had the, I can show it right here. Let me see if I go to ZeroG Discord. Nope, that's not right. I meant ZeroG GitHub. And then I go under user mods. I guess that you can get to this from the Discord as well, but the Mercury 1, I think this is where the spool holder is. It's in the older one. Yeah, so this is the one that I saw, and I was debating on this one. Oh, you know what? I remember the reason why I didn't go this route. It required a 5/16 or M8 threaded rod cut to 250 millimeters, which I just don't have right now. So that's why originals knew this one. This one has some cool stuff. I love that it's just up top, and so it's a really short path. But yeah, because of that, I didn't go that route. Reverse Bowden's probably what I'm gonna do. The user mod was before the current cable support swap as well. Gotcha. Yeah, because this one has, I think this is intended for the cable support, basically, to pass through here and keep it sort of in alignment. It's a nice design. I wish it didn't require a threaded rod, and there's a few tweaks I would like to make to it, which I guess I could do, but again, because things are sort of moving, I just decided for right now I'm running it as is, and I'll likely just do a reverse Bowden until we get further along. Another thing to cut with the angle grinder. Yeah, maybe I do need to just get a cheap angle grinder. Okay, so let's go back here. Let's try this again. Yeah, put that back. Let's film everything. Set it under a rep box. Yeah, I've debated. Oh, one other thing is that, so the Klicky probe portion that's actually in the PETS Fang and the wires turned out perfect. The part that's the actual switch is kind of hit or miss. Every once in a while, it'll throw an error, basically that it's not detecting the probe or that it's closed already. And it's because I did a pretty crappy job. When I installed it, oh wow, no wonder we need that gap. When I installed it and I used that really runny super glue, anyone that wasn't here, I used very, very low viscosity super glue, and it got everywhere. And so I think the issue is that some of it got in between where the magnets and the bit of copper strand that I put in there was supposed to be. So it's working well enough for now, but I did print out another Klicky body for just a little part that comes off and on with the switch. And I'm probably going to build another one. I'm probably going to build another one just to have it. It seems like it's working pretty well right now, but the first day or two, it was kind of spotty in terms of when it was deciding to work or not. So we'll see. But yeah, as far as rep box goes, the rep boxes are awesome. And I've debated on getting one a handful of times. My biggest thing is that because the printers move around so much, it makes it difficult. And ideally, if I got a rep box, it'd probably be somewhere on this wall. And the printer that's in this corner typically rotates a fair amount. I'm thinking the P1P will probably stay here for quite a while. But that's the thing, is that I've just moved stuff around so much. Ender 7 front and that rod for the spool holder, both angle grinder projects. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like the results we got from this mesh were pretty much identical to what we had a second ago, which is a 0.210, which is good to see, I suppose. We'll save the config. Cool. So I guess let's just do a print. I had printed off a little, I think, benchy, just because I was so excited and I knew we were gonna be streaming for 2 weeks. So I was like, I can't. Like, I've practiced patience, but that is just too long for me to not at least print something to make sure everything's working. So let's go ahead and slice something up. We're gonna go super slicer. I had already sort of built a profile on my other computer, but it's not very good, so I think we'll just end up starting over here. Why do we have a Merc 1.1 based off of Creality Ender 2 profile? That seems really wrong. Let's delete that. Yes. Okay, so we want to start with an Ender 5. So we've already got one here, which is good. I don't know, man. Oh, you know what? LDO provided, it's kind of handy. LDO provides with their orbiter, like some basic parameters for both the firmware settings as well as slicer settings. So I think we'll start with this. I'm gonna have to, oh, I've also done, God, there's so many things. It's been 2 weeks since we've looked at this, and so a lot of things have happened. I've also done some of the initial calibration stuff. So if we go under, where are we? Machine, printer.cfg, and we scroll to the bottom. So we've done the mesh, which we just did again right now. I've already run input shaper. For that, I used an automatic input shaper probe. The FISEC one, I have a FISEC one somewhere. Here it is. It works pretty much the exact same way as the one that, oh, it's not actually here. Oh, here it is. It works the exact same way, basically, as the one that GFunny was building. It just has both the accelerometer and the RP2040, the actual Raspberry Pi chip, are all on the same board. And it has these typical ADXL holes, but it also has mounting holes for like kind of standard sizes. So I was able to bolt this to the bottom of the hot end fan and ran this. I am going to be rerunning it once we've got the new board and all the electronics swapped out, because it'll also probably affect the machine's rigidity to an extent, but I did at least run it. I did at least run it a little bit. Let's see. I did a PID, I did PID tunes, and I did a Z probe offset. I still need to probably calibrate the E steps of the extruder, but for right now, today we're just going to run a print. I'm excited to just get it printing a little bit more and show off the print. So let's go here. Max print height, I think that's correct. We should be able to leave this as is. Let's go to, we're definitely not on Marlin, we're on Clipper. Leave all that. Extruder, this is where we probably need to change some stuff. Where are we? Yeah, so retraction length 6 is definitely not what we're going with. So according to LDO, for their extruder, they recommend, let's see, motor configuration, Marlin. Okay, here we go. Retraction 1 to 1.5. So we'll go with right in the middle of that. 1.25 for now. And then, does it say anything about speed? Retraction speed 120 millimeters per second. That sounds substantially faster than I've ever ran it, but that's that's what it says. So we'll go with that for now. Do we want Z lift on? No, we'll leave that off for right now. Did you find your ADXL for the Sonic pad? I didn't. I completely gave up. Anyone that saw that, so last week's video was an update on the Sonic pad because I've gotten a bunch of questions on it, and since my first video 3 months prior, there's been a lot of changes. A lot of the critiques I had early on were all implemented, but the issue I had was that the Sonic pad ships with like a proprietary ADXL, and proprietary at least in the sense that I don't know what chips on it, like what sort of setup it is, and that it doesn't use a USB plug. It uses sort of like a, I want to say it's a JST connection, but I could be wrong. And I couldn't find it anywhere. I mean, I ripped apart this room, I ripped apart the garage, and so then I figured, well, I've got this 5-sec one. I can just configure it and get it all working. Well, then I tried to SSH because Creality released the SSH permissions. I was like, great, I'll just SSH in and do all the installation and get that set up. The SSH is worthless. So if you're using their stuff, it works really well. And I was happy with the experience, but the second you need to go outside of it and use something like a USB-based input shaper device, it just doesn't work. So that's my main complaint right now, is that they need to give more user permissions, because there's basically zip right now, and allow for third-party ADXLs to work. So no, I didn't. Rush the gym. Oh man, don't let me be your excuse for Wednesday's workouts not being quite as good as you'd like, Dutch. I've been getting up a lot earlier and primarily doing cardio, but today's day 3 of it and I feel pretty good. It's only day 3, but I'm still proud. It's a little battles. Works well with the proprietary crap, but not anything else. Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. There's nothing else to say about it but that. They did a lot of things that I think are positive, but they need to release like standard SSH permissions. They literally gave you permissions, but it is so locked down that you can't do anything with it. And for their primary initial target demographic, that's probably not an issue. But for anybody that's used Clipper before, or that wants to grow and grow with that and learn more with Clipper and be able to go in and configure some stuff, there's no way you can do it. I saw people in the Facebook group that were like working on cracking it, and they were making progress, but there was nothing that I felt was really worth showing. And a lot of it was like, hey, DM me if you want more info. And I didn't want to show too much. I figured once they were ready to post their crack, if they're going to, then that's fine. So, hey, what's up, Viking? Happy New Year. I saw you last week, but Happy New Year again. I still need to make the ADXL thing for my printers, of course, need to get it working first. Yeah. I have a feeling that we'll see a lot more crap like that in this year, trending the wrong direction, in my honest opinion. I have a feeling there also will be more Clipper implementations in different ways, and I do see it being potentially problematic as well. I mean, even so, like even BigTreeTech, and I love a lot of what BigTreeTech's done and their CB1, and I have no issues with it, but even that's using a different image than the primary image. So as long as you're content with where you're at, right, like at the time of buying the product and not based off of future promises, I don't see any issue with going that route. But I have always been a bit of a skeptic on purchasing things based off of promises. And I certainly would say with stuff like this, if you're buying something that isn't unlocked, you need to accept that the way you're buying it right now might be what you're getting from it. I've seen, not even in the 3D printing space, but just companies in the past that have been like, yeah, we're gonna eventually do this, or you know, this is our goal, and then a couple years later and there's no updates, something like that. The ADXL, we'll print in a second and then I'll rant. Once we get printing, I will totally rant, but I'll show this last thing, then I'm gonna turn a blind eye while I finish this, get a print going, and then I'll be back to my typical ranty self. So the ADXL I'm talking about, and ironically, after I made the video, I happened to see that they did release a ADXL on AliExpress from Creality directly, but they need that thing on Amazon at least. So it's Sonic, let's go desktop, Sonic Pad, ADXL. How the hell did I even find it? Sonic Pad, input shaper. Okay, is it because, okay, let's try Creality. I probably should have put a space there. I can't even find it. It took me a while to find it. Initially, I couldn't even find the third-party one. Let's try ADXL again. Okay. Sonic Pad input shaper. I can't even find it right now. It just is a small injection molded part. I never cracked it open. There it is. Here it is. Okay, oh, dude, they did add it to their website. This was not on their website just a couple days ago when I had that video. I don't even know this is official Creality, MVP Creality. But anyways, this is what ships with their Sonic Pad, and it's currently the only ADXL that works. basically it's got 2 holes for bolting it. You've got a little JST plug on this side, and I believe there's a JST plug on the other side where it goes into the Sonic pad. Nope, that is not a JST. I don't actually know the official name of that connector. But the other one that I'm using is this guy. I bought this from. Hey, there's G-Funny. I bought this from Fabrico a little while back because I lost the files. I've got the one that G-Funny sent me, and somehow I lost the. I don't know if I lost the file for it or there was something that I lost for it where I couldn't get it working without like taking it all apart. And then I was ordering some stuff from Fabrico, saw this. So this is Bisec's one they came out with. And the thing that's cool about it is that it's USB-C. It's got both the RP2040 and the ADXL in one spot, which means that it's really compact and you can just throw it in one place. The downside to it is that it makes it really easy to lose. So will I lose this one? Only time will tell. So is that a PS1? Yeah, proprietary sort of connector, which is really annoying. I don't care that they have that, but I wish and I think that they should at least allow you the option to use a USB-based one if you want to as well. So, all right, that was my rant. Thank you. Appreciate everyone for listening. Okay, Sonic pad, print settings. PLA defaults, 215 and 60, that's fine. Cooling, 100%. We don't need to change any of that. Regular, so this is sliced for an end. No, this is not. I don't know what this is sliced for. So we've got 0.2, that's fine. 3, that's fine. Infill, 20%. I'm trying to get away from grid. I used grid for like the first 7 years of 3D printing, and I don't know why. I just am not as big of a fan of it anymore. I noticed a lot of people aren't using grid as much, and there's not really any good reason why I use it. I feel like it doesn't make the strongest parts, it's not the quickest, and it just, I don't know, it's sort of like a, yeah, gyroids, you use cubic. Is cubic primarily for speed, or is it for strength, Steve, or is it kind of a happy medium? I've been using gyroid quite a bit lately. Part of it's because I just like the look of it, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm just trying to get away from grid. I've used it for so many years, and it's been a fine, choice for thousands of parts I printed. But okay, so let's. I don't know how quick I want to go initially with this. We can try. Let's just try like 150 on internal. I don't want to go anything too ham until we start making sure that everything's working correctly, because I haven't exactly done much testing of this. For infill speed, we will crank it up to like 180. Solid will go a little bit slower at 150, and top solid we'll do 120 to match our external. Travel speed. So travel speed, I can't go super fast. I don't even know if I'll be able to hit 200. Something about, I think it's just the stock board and the drivers that it comes with. It was causing serious issues with travel speed. It's weird. It's really weird. And that's what, let me see, we'll drop this to just like 150 for now. Let's see how that goes. Why is this? Why is this red? Hey, Zombie's in the house. Happy Wednesday, Zombie. 1 meter a second. Adaptive, cubic, or sportive. Gyroid is slow. Gotcha. It's so pretty though. Because you are on sliced preview. Thank you, Zombie. All right, or not Zombie. That was Zombie. That was Alien. I was looking at Zombie and his banana. Oh, damn it. The notifications do work. Weird. Notifications weren't working, but apparently they work for Zombie. So we've been manually doing the notifications today. I'm still gonna give you get the manual treatment. Thank you, thank you, Zombie, for the banana and the $1.49. Appreciate it. Yeah, ever since I transitioned last week to the other channel for some of the streaming stuff, it kind of broke things. On-screen chat's not working, and notifications have been really spotty. So I will play around with that and hopefully have it working by next week. You know what? Let's do who zombies here. We'll do a swatch truck. Printables. Huh, I don't know. Okay, maybe they're magically working. I don't understand. They weren't working earlier. G-Funny, thank you very much for the gifted membership. Through the experiments, you got the gifted sub or gifted membership. Thanks, G-Funny. Happy New Year's, man, or happy Wednesday. Again, this isn't I guess this isn't the first Wednesday. It's the first regular stream, if we can call what we do here regular stream. No, Spoolist is my thing. Yours is Swatch Truck. Swatch. There we go, Swatch Truck. Okay, so it looks like grid infill is what is recommended for this. So we will do that for this one, I suppose. Congrats to John S for winning a printables contest. What printables contest? Congratulations! Thank you for renewing your membership, Zombie. 5 months. Hey, Do It's here. Good afternoon and happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, Do It. Okay, so we're downloading Swatch Truck. Yay! Open. Oh, it's opening in Bamboo. I also haven't updated. This is the early version before the P1P came out. Oh, there we go. There's the newer one. We don't want that. We don't want that. There we go. Okay, Swatch Truck is in the house. And we are going to be doing... I don't anticipate this going very well because I also haven't calibrated flow. But we're going to run it. 40 millimeters a second surface speed? That is slow for... We'll do this first and then we'll crank one out after. This should be pretty quick. We're going print settings, 0.2. Infill, we're going 40%. And we are doing grid. So 40, we'll just do 40 then for the top solid infill, so everything else will be much quicker. Cool. And then let's go ahead and printer settings. Okay, so this is Mercury 1. Mercury 1.1. And this is not Octoprint, this is Clipper. And we are going to be doing, what is our IP? 118. 192.168. 0.160. Nope. 0.118. Let's make sure it works. Connection to Clipper works. Cool. Awesome. All right, I think we're just gonna send it. Start printing after upload. Cool. I'll move the camera shortly too. It's just I have it on this super beefy tripod because I wanted to get a top-down view for everyone initially, but it's not the most move-around friendly tripod. I do 40 because I like nice clean layers, but if you print at 120, then calibrate your flow for 120. Yeah, we'll do a slow top just for this one. This is basically the first test we've done on stream. I've only done one other print that was like a pretty jank benchy, just to make sure that everything was at least working, which it was. All right. You know what? I also realized I don't think this is in the print center because I don't believe I have my offsets set correctly in here. It's okay for right now. Let's go dashboard. Okay, we're heating up. I'm gonna drop this camera down and move this printer to the side a little bit. And once it starts printing, we can get into ranty mode. We can talk about pretty much whatever anyone wants to talk about. You want the new calibration cube? Ooh, yeah. Can you send it to me, Dutch? We can print it after this, and we'll print faster. We'll print roughly the same speeds, I think. Maybe we'll crank it up a little bit. But I'll set the top surface to be a lot faster than we're doing on this one. Okay, I'm gonna fully 180 this so that way it's straight on with the camera. I'm sorry, printer. There we go. But yeah, I would love the new calibration cube. Cool. Ah, MC. That's funny. My it's yeah, the Raspberry Pi is not tethered, or it's not tied to the printer. Awesome. Did I damage the USB port? Okay. Ay. The Raspberry Pi is just plugged into the wall power because we're not going to be using this at all in the final build. We're going with the CB1. And I forgot that I have the world's smallest cable, and so when I pulled it, it definitely pulled on the USB port. I'm going to reset this and see if we can get it. Have you tried turning it off and on? Yeah, I'll see what happens. If it doesn't, if this doesn't work, then I'll restart the Pi. I'm hoping I didn't damage. I don't care that much because we are completely getting rid of the 4.2.2 board that's inside here, but I would love to be able to print with it a little bit more before we can't print with it, period. We'll see. All right, let's shut it down and reboot it. I hope I didn't damage. Hope I didn't damage the freaking port right now. All right, unplug, power off. Let me visually inspect the port. It looks okay. Let's see the cable. Seems okay as well. All right, let's reboot. That's what I get. I just wanted you guys to see a close-up shot of the print from the front, and I guess it was too much to ask. Gotta get back to it. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Steve. Yeah, I don't think it. Okay. So I think that now it is loose to the point where I need to have the Raspberry Pi right here. We'll see if this does it. Forever breaking things. Okay, we're back and connected. Okay, so either the cable or the port is definitely slightly damaged though, and so if it has any pull now to a different direction, it's going to pull straight out. So I'm going to slide the printer a little bit more this way, and the Pi a little bit more this way. Cool. And if I will not be moving, I will not be moving the printer again without unplugging everything. I came here to see a working printer. I need to see one to stop my withdrawals. All right, let's try this again. It should be under G-code files, hopefully. Swatch truck shapes, yes. All right, nailed it. Once it starts printing, I'll get it focused in too. I think I killed my bed MOSFET on a Pico. How'd you do that? Or what did you do? I still have not used a Pico. I know so many people love it. G-Funny, are you still running Picos? I know you were a big fan of Picos, at least initially, and I think that's what you're using for quite a while. Okay, I actually might need to bring you guys back up higher now that I think about it. Or I need to go get the angle grinder. I'm not entirely convinced you'll be able to see anything. It's only, if only there was a place to watch. 9 out of 10 printers putting 20%. Nice, zombie. I've killed 2 Pico fuses. Man, I run dual picos for my Micron. Damn, that's right. It's jank installed right now, so who knows. I did get in the new... I'm gonna make a full video on them because I'm super happy. And I know that they released a couple of new Manta boards, which is sick. They actually released a Manta M5P, but the Victory Tech released the Manta. Yeah, so that's not right. I need to get my I need to get my offset set correctly. As long as we print on the bed, though, I don't care that much. So it is going. One thing really weird too is that I'm gonna restart this. You guys can't see it either, but for some reason this bed things are sticking like crap to it, and I've never had an issue in the past with this bed and adhesion. Typically the issue is that things stick too well and it gets damaged really quickly. Let me see if I can get you guys focused in here. Nope, nope. Somewhere right there. Roughly in focus, kind of. Things are not sticking well to this bed, and I don't exactly know why. Let me get a rag or like a paper and some IPA and wipe it down really quick. Yeah, it's a stock bed. We're not, again, like, it feels kind of rough showing the, oh geez, showing the Mercury 1 like this, because this does, oh, things are happening. It feels kind of rough showing the Mercury 1 like this, because it's not how it's going to be ran at all. Like, it's gonna have a super thick bed, and we've got a brand new powder coated PEI bed to go on it. If I was keeping this bed, I already would have swapped the surface for something much better, but because we're not, I have not. Where is my IPA? There it is. I'm almost tempted, which I never really needed to do, is throw a little bit. I think I put a dab of glue stick on it the other day, and it helped a ton, but I don't know if it's just because it got oily or dust built up on it over time or what the deal is, but this surface is just not sticking good. I guess I could also bump the bed up a little bit. Okay, let's kill this. I'm gonna reslice it, but give the bed 10 more C. Where are we at? Yeah, I've never I don't think I really ever print PLA above 60C, but until we swap out the bed, this bed is sucking. And then we can also go under print settings and go under general. And then our origin for the X is probably like 20, it's probably like 20 millimeters offset. So we will increase that. But now that I think about it, we'd also need to change our starting G code. Okay, so this is priming the nozzle. So if we go X, so X is just priming at 0. Let's raise this to X20. I don't think we need to E10 F100 Y10. Okay. So that's where it's starting from. I have this set up correctly on my other computer. Set in clipper. Oh, I love clipper macros for this reason. Yeah. We'll start it like this. This is a, yeah, exactly. This is a stock, stock bed and stock board and stock Z. The the motion system has been converted to Core XY, and we're using a probe, which is the Klicky probe. Luke says, gotta step away from a meeting. Good luck on the first print. Hey, thank you, Luke. Good luck with the meeting. I also might need to drop my Z offset a hair, so let me get that ready just in case. I love the Klicky. Yeah, it's just such a... There's so much about it that I love. I love that it's super repeatable, it's super inexpensive, you can adapt it to almost any printer. I really, really love the Klicky. Major fan. This is only my second experience with it. The first one was on the switch wire, which was a little bit interesting because it required a servo. Since it's an i3 bed, I know that Kevin, aka Sam, has a clack ender that I believe doesn't require a servo at all, and it's able to pick up a Klicky. Like the back of it, he sort of designed it in a way at an angle where it can grab the probe, and I want to install that one as well on an ender. But I love it. I really like it. Okay, so it looks like it's still going to purge off the bed. I need to just grab whatever I did on my other, yeah, it's still off the bed. I'm probably gonna grab my starting G code from the other slicer profile I worked on. Okay, at least it's sticking. I think I'm gonna go down a hair. Where are we? Okay, so yeah, maybe it was just dust. We're clearly still offset by quite a bit, but at least we're sticking to the first layer. Let me zoom in for you guys a little bit. I think. Seems about right. I have 2 of the Klicky PCBs, and I need to play around with them a bit more. Fabrico gave away 5 of them in last week's stream, and he'd sent me 2 of them before, and I actually have one right here. I need to check out what it would require. I'm assuming the Klicky PCBs probably are going to require a slightly different dock just due to their shape. It looks like they're designed, not that you can't adapt them to anything, but it looks like they're primarily designed to be swapped out for the inductive probe that's normally on the Voron printers. First layer is looking pretty good. Maybe some slight over extrusion, but it's really not looking bad. Yeah, it's a little off center. I'm gonna, one second. While we're here, I'm going to really quickly go over to my other computer and see what I have configured for this. Because I had started sort of working on a base profile for it when I had some downtime a couple weeks ago, like before the holidays, right before the holidays. Let's see. I'm just gonna open the Super Slicer profile, check the offsets, and then probably copy and paste the starting G code, because I'm pretty sure I had it lined up perfectly on the edge of the bed for the purge line. Okay, so this is printer, 4 on switch wire, that's not what we want. Mercury 1.1. Okay, so I have the offset and the slicer set to, wow, -40 on X. So that's a big difference. And then I'm gonna grab the starting G code, custom G code, here we go. Control C. Almost done. I just don't want to have to redo this. I did it once. Okay. Wait, chat? No, chat's not working either on this one. Okay, so I need to fix chat on screen for everything. It's broken on all of the scenes. Definitely looks like some over extrusion. Should do a full guide on setting up bed offsets for newbies. I did do a guide. At least not entirely. Well, no, I basically did do a full guide. Hey, we have almost 100 viewers and 45 likes. If you have not smacked the like button, please do. It really helps out the stream, and I appreciate it very much. Yeah, so I did do a video. Let me see here. I think it's just XY offsets. Let's see.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, it's me. Videos. I did it before we moved. Okay, it was before the switch wire stuff. Before that, here we go. Here we go. I did do a video. With a large number of... I was trying to avoid watching my own videos. To be honest with you, a lot of times when I'm doing topics on a video, I do a lot of additional research, like right prior to doing it. So that way I touch up on what I already know, I learn a bit more, and then I create the video. And I'll often reference those videos at a future date because there's no way, like I can't remember all the stuff that I learned at one point or talk about. So as much as it helps other people, it also helps myself because I'm like, cool, if I do a good enough job, I will be able to reference this myself at a future date. Okay, so let's quickly go. Well, I'll have this for you guys, but also here as well. So we're going to first change our X offset from the -20 at set 2 to -40. The reason why it's so aggressive is because of this new gantry setup, the new tool head, and that I have the Klicky way off to the side. And then I just emailed myself, let me bring it over here really quick. All right, I'm gonna swap out the starting G code with what I have been using, or what I had created. I guess I haven't really used it much. Okay, so what do I do differently on this one? So for, it looks like okay, so set it to X40, so that way it goes over the bed, because we know that X40, based off of what I just discovered, is our offset. So it stays X40 F5000, and then it's, okay, so both up and down. It does two purges, one towards the back and one towards the front, and they're the exact same position. So let's save that, so I have it on both. Is this live stream or serial video? If you guys will take it, I don't know what the requirements are. I assume that it's similar to that of Clipper. I don't know, what I wasn't sure of is what was required to get a serial. If it's just the printer printing, is it a certain model? I would love to get this thing serialed. I'll have to somehow figure out a way to implement it into the build so I can show it on the side or the front or something like that. Awesome, we'll watch after this. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. No worries at all. My house vibrates with the washing machine. It's this anticipation for printers to go burr. Aaron, send me a message in Discord and I'll look into it. I don't know. Which EVA fan duct does it use, the V2 or V3? This is the EVA 2.4, the entire tool head, but it's a modified version. Like it has, I know that it's for sure modified. I think slightly belt path maybe, question mark. I also know that heat inserts instead of all of the like trapped nuts, nut traps, trap nuts. And also, what else is different? Well, the Petsfang fan duct is also a modified version, which has the integrated Klicky setup that I think Turtle did that. 2.4 completely remixed now. Yeah, so it's very, very different. I'm not sure if that's what you're asking, Dustin, or if you're asking specifically on the fan duct, but if you're asking about the fan duct, this is the Klicky one from the ZeroG Discord, and it's the standard or average. What the hell is it called? It's the most common one. I can't think of its actual name right now. Where are we? Someone's gonna put it in chat before I even get a chance to find it. Mercury 1, EVA, no. Klicky, Trihorn. Let's see. It's definitely over extruding. I hear nozzle scraping. Oh, this is also grid, so that makes sense, and 40% infill, so that would make sense as to why it's scraping more than it would with something else. There we go. It is the default. Is that what someone already posted? Yeah, so if you're asking about specific duct, there are narrow and default version, and I am pretty positive that I went with default. Almost positive that's what I went with for this. Print the mini stealth burner yet? I have not. I saw someone asked about that. I'm falling behind on answering questions. Let's see. Print one swatch truck on video. a clean printer that has a video on YouTube printing. If you guys will take it, I will absolutely take this. There will be more content of the Mercury printing, but if I can get serialed, I will absolutely take it. So you guys let me know. Caught a live stream. Happy dance. Hey Jed, happy Wednesday. Cost all in. Okay, so I think it was Delmar that messaged a second ago asking. There you are. Sorry, Delmar. Are you going to upgrade any of your V0s to a 0.2? So when it first came out, I did a brief look through of the changelog. And what I have not done a brief look through yet is the bomb. So depending on how much stuff I need to order, the answer is yes. So one of the V0s will definitely be becoming a 0.2, likely slightly modified because I think I have 2 belted Z kits and I think I have a Klicky set up for the V0. And if we're going in and tearing everything apart, I very likely will do it just for the memes of it. Like, why not? I know it's a really small stiff bed and probably absolutely not needed. But yes, yeah, the plan is definitely to do that. As far as printing out parts, I haven't printed out parts for the mini stealth burner. I have recently printed out quite a bit. Hey, notifications are working. I printed out quite a bit of this, which I know that Zombie will be happy about. So this is all carbon. It looks like crap because I don't have autofocus on, but this is all carbon fiber PETG, and this is for the drop effect extruder and drop effect hot end. And if everything works correctly, God, that looks really bad. Sorry, folks. If everything works correctly, it's going on the KP3S. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure yet, but that is the current plan. But yeah, I need to start printing some of that stuff out, but I have not. Are you upgrading, G-Funny? You have a V0, right? Or do you? I don't know if I've seen your V0. I primarily can picture the Trident and the Salad Fork. No, yes, Salad Fork and the Micron and Micron Plus. Mini stealth burner looks good alone with the new changes to V0.2. Yeah, I need to, I believe, print out new acrylic panels or cut out new acrylic panels, which I should probably do right away because the CO2 laser that I have here was a loaner I mentioned in the video I did on it for 3 months, and its time has come and gone. So I need to send it back, but I'm debating before I unplug it. I've got some 3mm acrylic. I should probably cut all the panels prior. That would be a very good idea. How fast am I printing? This is, what, solid top infill? So, no, it's not solid top. I'll just show you, man. I guess if I pull up. Also, someone remind me in 22 minutes to open the giveaway for the Polymaker filament. Okay, so right now we're going 40mm a second, which means we're doing a top solid layer. Everything else should be like 120, 150, and 180, depending on the part it's doing. So you kind of see right here as it's bouncing between, depending on the travel movement it's doing. It's going to be going and printing much more aggressive than this, I would say, or at least quite a bit more aggressive than this once I do the board swap and get everything else dialed in. But the stock board setup and the stock drivers just don't like going fast. It's interesting. I was having issues when I had the travel speed set to like 250mm a second. If it had a long ramp up, so it was actually able to hit sort of that speed, it was freaking out and skipping steps. So Let's see. Weave, thank you very much for becoming a member. Sorry, I'm falling behind now. Can you explain more on the scraping noise you're hearing? Yeah, so it's pretty common, depending on the setup, that when you're running grid infill, that you can get some element of scraping. The reason why we're getting it right now is because I don't have the E-step dialed in, and I can clearly see that this nozzle, or this, we're over extruding. Hey, Jed, thank you very much for becoming a member. Welcome. I can see very clearly that we're over extruding. There's basically, each layer, instead of it being smooth, has some roughness because I haven't calibrated any of the E-steps or flow or anything for the filament or this extruder and setup. And so with grid specifically, and we're also at 40% infill, which is pretty high for this size part. If I go here, and you sort of look at the way grid goes. So grid goes one direction and then the other direction on the same layer. And because of that, the nozzle is passing over what it's already laid down. So if you have over extrusion, that nozzle is scraping what it just laid down for the other direction. I mean, even if it's perfect, you can have like the most hair of scraping. But if you look at this, like it's crossing. It's going this direction to lay it down that way, and it's coming back over. And especially if you have over extrusion, like what's happening on this right now, when it's doing that pass over this layer or this line that it's laid down, that's the scraping sound that you'll hear. So if we slice this with, like, let's say, let's change it up to, let's go with some gyroid. Slicing complete. How come I don't see it then? Yeah. So if you look at gyroid, on the other hand, it's not doing that. So like for this layer, it's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, moving to the end, moving over, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then if you go, like, let's just go one layer down. So this is layer 12, 11. It's doing the exact same thing, but in the other direction. So they're never crossing each other on the same layer. So you can still get that scraping. Like in this case, because of this model being so small and it's high infill, and again, I'll show the end model, but it's clearly over extruding. You still might get some scraping, but it would be significantly less because it has to move up your designated layer height before it's doing the next layer. While with grid, it's not. It's doing two directions on the exact same layer. So that's what's going on. Make sure you get, let's see, make sure you get an M2x6 flathead shoe foot for the mini steel printer. Oh, good to know. I'm getting the microswitch extruder. I won from the giveaway tomorrow. Oh, sweet! Congratulations, Crypto. Yeah, microswitch is so quick about shipping out anything. But yeah, anytime they sponsor, you know, it's also dropping to the bottom. Let me take this off before it does that. Every time they've sponsored a giveaway, they are so quick to ship out. Yeah, I don't think any of these wheels are spinning. Yeah, there's too much extrusion. Watch, I will show you guys. Let's see, I need to manual focus. It's looking rough. And again, it's just because of the fact that it is very clearly over extruding. Yeah, look at the wheels. Like, they should be perfectly smooth. I saw from the beginning, basically after the first layer, I mean, you have a blob right there. So I think that the E-step value, or the rotation distance is what Clipper uses value. I think the one I went with was the default that came with the default recommended from LDO. Let me also make sure you're caught up here. I'm gonna just upgrade both. Okay, I'm jumping down. Any possibility of a crash on the bed? What do you mean, Delmar? That's your zombie. That's your rotation distance for the orbiter V2. Oh, while it was lowering. No, it doesn't. It doesn't go all the way down. So I can show you. I need to change the ending G code, but there's still a pretty big gap of like a fist distance before it would have crashed. Yeah, so the default value recommended by LDO is... Where are we? Clipper firmware. 4.637, and you said yours is calibrated... Oh wow, yours is calibrated exactly on what they are recommending. Interesting. So maybe it isn't an issue with the E-steps, and it's more an issue of me needing to adjust the flow rate in the slicer then. Let's see what we have it set to. Filaments. Ah, so we have the extrusion multiplier set to 1, which is definitely high. A distance. No, I didn't set the flow. Yeah. I should have started much lower. I think I had it lower on the other. Okay, let's for funsies just do the exact same print, but with the flow lowered. So all we're gonna do is change it to 0.92, which is a whole 8%, which can make a massive difference in terms of our output. And let's make sure we switch back to our grid. We can also check to make sure that our offset's working now, since I applied the offset. So let's do that really quick. All right, let's try again. Should make a pretty big difference. Let's also zoom out a little bit. There we go. Hey, Iggy's in the house. Happy Wednesday, Iggy. Change the top speed a bit too. Lower the Z offset. You think the Z offset needs to be closer? It looks pretty good to me. All right, I'm gonna do two things then. So let's go, we're doing speed. We'll crank up speed a little bit. So we have top set to 40 millimeters a second. Let's bump it up to 80 then, we'll double it. Slice again. I'm going to, it's gonna home first and then I'll pause it. Oh, if you lower flow, it might need to adjust the offset. Gotcha, that's what you're saying. Yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense. Okay, so we've stopped it. Let's fire it up again. And then we will drop our Z offset ever so slightly. It'll take in a second. Okay. Yeah, it's a good call. Silva SPO6 seems really solid. Under 586 I want a Core XY eventually. If you are wanting a Core XY eventually, and it's a really solid option. I still don't know of any other than like the Sapphire that are Core XYs that I would consider budget Core XYs. I know that Artillery has teased that they're releasing a Core XY printer. They were asking for naming ideas maybe a month ago, roughly, on Twitter, but I haven't seen any other info on it, so I don't know whether that's 30 days out or 6 months out. All right, so at least we're on the bed. I probably could have the purge line further to the left still. It seems a little excessive on the bed, but it's okay. Still need more squish. Looks okay. Yeah, I was starting, this corner right here was not sticking very well, so I dropped it down a little bit more. So it's dropped down now 0.085. And that looks, it looks much better. Yeah, that looks much better. Yeah, I don't know that we'll see a better, I say this right now, but I don't know that we'll see a much better printer than the SV06 for the price point they're asking for. They've had it on sale a lot. Like, I mean, just for the stream last week too, they gave us a $20 discount code, but they've had it on sale quite a bit. Still looks like maybe a hair of over extrusion, but we'll see. For the price, I just don't know really. I don't see how they can sell it for any less and actually make anything, like, be profitable. It doesn't make sense to me. I already think it's incredibly low, considering you get an all-metal hot-end direct drive extruder with like a, it's a planetary gear setup. You get a powder-coated PEI bed. Like, it's just so much about it. But again, if you are wanting to convert to a Core XY, then it wouldn't make any sense going that route. The Ender 5, knowing that you can upgrade, I mean, heck, if you don't do the whole Hydra setup and you just do the top, like this conversion right here, and then just add some stabilizers to the cantilever bed, there's like printable versions of it. Basically, I have, well, it's in the garage now, but the Ender 5S1, they just added essentially what's a community mod, which are stabilizers from the bearings on the cantilever bed that go up to the front portion of the frame, and it adds a ton of rigidity. I think that's Scott. If you're in chat still, Scott, that's what you're running, right? Is basically a printed stabilizer that just sort of reinforces, creates kind of like a triangle almost from the rods that are connected to the frame and the edge of the bed. Yeah. The margins on the X1 Carbon is probably smaller than the SV06. Yeah, I tend to agree. I'm curious to see long term what they end up doing, because I also feel like the amount of tech that seems packed in the X1 Carbon, even the P1P, I mean, for I think $699, right, is what, $699 to retail? I'm almost positive that's what it's at now. It seems pretty crazy to me. It seems like very slim margins. I agree with that. I think that the X1 definitely is their, like, send it out, ooh and ah everyone, and sort of like get a major push into the market. And then I think that their next generation, maybe even the P1P, maybe with the P1P they're able to be profitable. I don't know. I mean, I would imagine since it's gonna be all the same tooling basically, and they're saving quite a bit on panels, on shipping, on touchscreen, on what else? The fan, like they might be, you know, doing better with the P1P, but I have a feeling that that's probably what it was. It was a major push to sort of get out. I just don't see how they can be making a lot on it. It doesn't make sense. I'm still rails over rods. Oh, linear rails over smooth rods. Yeah, also, that is a great idea. I had mentioned that in my Ender 3 update video. You can find a lot of the Creality printers as returns. And a lot of times they're, so I bought one for the exoslide conversion. That's what the video was for. I knew that I was going to be converting it to Clipper. I knew I was going to be converting the motion system and the hot end, and like basically the majority of it. I really just needed the frame, a working power supply, and stepper motors. And I was able to get the Ender 3 like fully shipped and everything from eBay to me for 80 bucks. So I anticipate if you aren't in a hurry and you just keep your eyes on like eBay, you'll find one of the people that like sort of buy pallets or eBay returns and just resell them The only thing is, if you don't have experience with 3D printing prior to that, or another printer to print parts, that can be a very frustrating experience. So you have to be the right person, but if you already have a printer and you're familiar with it, it's a great way to get a, you know, like the base for a really big mod project without spending quite as much money. P1P is probably closer to profitable, but they aren't selling well. Are they not selling well? I keep seeing I don't know if that's true, Alien. Maybe, I don't know if that's true, because I've just seen them popping up more and more everywhere now. Maybe initially, I don't know, with the holidays, that could have been part of it, which is kind of weird, but maybe they were too late in the holidays to really get the sales, I don't know. But lately, I just keep seeing like people showing their P1Ps everywhere, I feel like. And I'm not talking, you know, content creators, but like anybody, like just got my P1P in, or like getting a P1P or two to complement my X1. So I'll be curious to see how they end up doing, but I feel like for the majority of people, a P1P makes a ton of sense, unless you're like, because a lot of people just print with PLA and PETG, and if that's you, then there's no reason, I don't see why you would spend more money. I mentioned once that one eBay seller does return printers. Now I can't get my $30 printers. Sorry, Zombie. There's plenty to go around, especially after the holidays. There's always gonna be a lot of returns. Everyone gets their first printer after the holidays. I'm like, oh wait, Ender 3 is not plug and play, or 3D printing in general. I picked up an ESP for less than $4 off eBay. Oh, nice. Or Ender 5 Pro, not ESP. Ender 5 Pro. That's awesome. What do they go for new, actually? $400? That feels pretty high. No? Yeah, I think the PMP is also getting more traction every day. Probably start with something like an SPO6 and use that for now. If you're looking for a starter printer, SPO6 is a really solid option, James. I think that is a fantastic price to performance printer. Oh, Ender 5 Plus. Okay, never mind. I take it back. Sounds much better. Way beefier machine. A lot more metal. A lot more of everything. Yeah, Amazon's been really dropping the ball pretty much everywhere. Ordered nozzles worth like Ender 3. Wow. Almost got Ender 5 for $120. That seems like a great deal. What does... I'm curious, I don't actually know. Let's go with Ender 5 Pro, because I feel like... Okay, so Ender 5 Pro on Crowdy's website right now is $399, which seems costly to me. That seems high. Let's see if they're any cheaper on Amazon. Compared to what the Ender 3 goes for, is there that much more aluminum that it costs that much to make? Hearing that scraping happening again. Let's see. Okay, so $3.99, $30 off coupon, so $3.70. Yeah, so $3.70 roughly. Let's see for fun. Let me see here. 2 minutes till the giveaway opens, and then we'll have it open for half an hour, and then we'll draw it. Ender 5 Pro return. Okay, so like this is a person that clearly, oh, yeah, it's Soval. Of course this is a person that clearly sells return Crealities, and that makes sense because it's actually Soval. Hey, what's up, Machop? Hey, Zombie, thank you for the coffee. Is it a it says tired. Thank you very much for the $1.99, and I think the coffee sticker. This is actually funny enough. Zombie that just donated that. This is his design. It's a little swatch truck, which is meant to, one, be able to see kind of what the filament looks like printed, but it also, man, it does a lot of things. There's the wheels spin, there's different tolerances in them. I think it's 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. let's pull up the, there we go, let's pull up the thing. Okay, flow test. Using a surface flow method, the large flat surface can help calibrate your extrusion multiplier in the slicer. So calibrates flow first layer. After calibrating the flow, first layer can be adjusted. The goal is similar to the flow test. The first layer should be smooth to the touch with no visible gaps. Clearance test to the wheels. Yeah, there's a 0.2 clearance, 0.3 and 0.1 wheel. They'll spin detail and size. So yeah, it's like a calibration mixed with keeping track of like your filament colors. I'm curious to see really quick here, what is an Ender 5? Oh, they don't even have them available right now. Okay, so they've only got Ender 3s, 3 Pros. Wow, they're selling a used Ender 3 for 150 bucks? That doesn't seem like a great deal to me. What does a new Ender 3 go for? I thought it was I thought it was very close to that price. Yeah, there's a 199. There we go. Like, that's much better. Unofficial, unrepaired, unofficial Crowley Ender 3 Pro, $99 with free shipping. That would be, right? Free shipping? Yeah, that would be a better deal than the 130 or 140. Have you started doing any resin printing mod? I have built a rook. This isn't the Omnia drop. I don't know if you saw it, Big, but I am doing the, I'm going to be installing the Omnia drop extruder and hot end. The plan is it's going on a KP3S with a carbon fiber PETG, tool head that I printed. Words are tough. Yeah, Micro Center still has that promotion going on, huh? They must have, either they've determined that people that buy, or there's more people buying the Ender from them that come back and buy filament and things like that, or they just bought a ton of Enders or made a deal with Crowley and they just have to go through them. Post a link. Oh, post a link. Yeah, giveaway time. Let's get this going. Okay, so posting a, I'm gonna pin a link in the chat for our weekly giveaway, which is for a spool of Polymaker filament. It's shipped anywhere in the world. It's any PLA, ABS, PETG, or PLA, ABS, ASA, or PETG, except for exotics. So just fill out your name. Or not your, yeah, your YouTube name, your Discord name, and your email, and then we'll draw on stream shortly here. And what is a reputable seller of an orbiter extruder? Does Fabrico sell orbiters? I got it directly from LDO. Or I would imagine they do. Orbiter 2.0 extruder. Well, Fabrico would be my recommendation, but they're sold out. I don't know when they're getting them again. I'm sure that there's other sellers, if you're in the US, that will also carry it. I know that Zombie uses West, I think West 3D quite a bit, and I'm sure they have it as well. There's going to be a paid rook? Where'd you see that, Zombie? In the Discord? I don't know if I asked it out loud, but I thought it. Zombie, what was the total cost of building one of those rooks, roughly? I mean, again, I know there's a range depending on how premium you want to go with things, but on average, what is the cost from beginning to end for the parts for a rook? Oh, interesting. Okay, so they're finally ending the sale in January. Yeah, if you're near a Micro Center, even if you have printers, I mean, $100 for a brand new Ender 3 Pro is, it's such a fantastic gift to get someone into 3D printing, or again, there's so many conversions for the Ender 3. It's just a very cool project in the future. I got some Atomic carbon fiber PTG for Christmas. Need to fix my metal hot end so I can try it out. Nice. I haven't used, I don't think I've used Atomic filament. I know a lot of people that use it and absolutely love it. And the carbon fiber especially, the carbon fiber PTG seems to be like some of their hottest filament that people love printing with. So I'm sure you're gonna love it. They have a sale today. If anyone's actually interested, I saw they posted on Twitter. Atomic is doing, I think, 25% off all filaments, which is, they said, their biggest sale ever. Let's see, Atomic. $23%. Our biggest sale of the year, 23% off 1 kilogram rolls when you buy 4 or more. Use coupon code New Year at checkout. Happy New Year's. So that's going on if anyone needs, if anyone wants to try atomic filament. Oh man, it's been a learning curve. It's in my garage and right now it's about 60 degrees. Okay. Oh yeah, cold. Put a space heater in front of it and it got much better. Also getting some layer separation, sometimes on larger prints, maybe more exposure time. I'll get it figured out. Yeah, I haven't really done a ton of resin printing in the garage since it's been cold, but I'm curious to see how that goes here as well. But yeah, I'm sure space heater will help a ton. Depending on if big prints, are you hollowing them or are you printing them solid? If you're hollowing them, which you probably are if they're big prints, you definitely want to make sure you have adequate drain holes. It also helps with sort of the pressure buildup from the print as it's sort of expanding and contracting. That can cause cracks too. Still looks like we're over extruding it quite a bit. Yeah, I would definitely say we're still over extruding. This is an improvement. Let's see. Okay, so this is the old. Ooh. Okay, so this was our first one when we printed it with the flow of 1. And then this is at 0.92. It's definitely better. It's a step in the right direction, but I would argue that we are still over extruding by quite a bit. Like based off from this to this, I would say we need to drop it probably 0.6 more. Let's see if any of the wheels spin. No, they do not. Well, okay, all right. I was able to get this one spinning, the biggest one. It should spin pretty freely now. But yeah, it's still looking pretty rough on the top, which makes me think that it's weird though that the recommended E-step. One second. It's weird that the recommended E-step is also what you're running Zombie, and that's working great for you, but it's not working well for me. I'm gonna drop this on even more, just for right now. I'm gonna have to adjust E-steps for this, but let's just do like a 0.85. See if we can find what the sweet spot looks like in terms of output. Haven't been hollowing them as they were first go, just want to jump in and have what I assumed would be the best chance for success, but I will be hollowing them going forward. Yeah, it's looks like monotonic nonsense. Do you have a lot of extruder tension? Loosen it. I don't feel like I do. Maybe I do have quite a bit of tension. Okay, I'm gonna loosen it entirely for a second here. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna heat up the hot end, so that way I can push filament freely through it. 1 second. Where are we going? Where are we going? There we go. Okay, let's heat this up. Yeah, when you do hollow it though, you'll also have to figure out a wall thickness that works well. Bigger models will need a thicker wall thickness just to support the structure. It's quite a bit to it. I think like starting small and he's definitely gonna be your best bet, but yeah, you're gonna be battling with, up until moving here, I'd always resin printed inside. So it was, you know, climate controlled and 74, 75. Do I have control over the motor amps? I don't. The motor amps need to be set through the potentiometer, I believe, on the 4.2.2. What's up, John? Happy New Year's. I think I definitely saw you last week, but Happy New Year's again. Okay, so we are at 220. Can I zoom out? Yeah. All right. This is going to be getting a Manta M8P. I have it in here somewhere. I think the only things I really want to do still on this, I'm debating on doing a video just showing the Mercury 1.1 as its base conversion, because it's much more affordable than doing the full Hydra setup, especially with electronics. I mean, the Hydra adds a pretty hefty amount to the build. If you just go with this base conversion on top, you're looking at 140, 150. Let me see here. Yo. Okay, so let's say you have Ender 5 Pro and you want to go with the same as me, which is just stainless steel. Nope. Yeah, this would be it. Okay, so look at 220. So 220 for all of the motion systems. That's the linear rails, the new motors, the belts, all of your bolts. And then you would need to add on top of that your hot end and extruder, which you can really go as pricey or as cheap as you want. I mean, they support a V6, so technically if you wanted to even do a clone V6 for $8 or something like that, you could do that. Let's just say the average middle ground cost of like a Dragonfly for 50, $60, and the Orbiter, which I think Fabrico showed was like $60. Let's just say $100 roughly. That's maybe being a little bit generous. It probably is gonna be a bit more, but 320. So $320 to convert it to a pretty awesome, a very awesome Core XY 3D printer. And then if you add the Hydra and electronics, I mean, that increases it quite substantially. You need three large linear rails, 3 small linear rails. You need 3 more motors, or not 3, I guess you have 1 already for the Z. So 2 more motors. You need a beefier board. It increases it a lot. So the new revision of the M8P seems nice. Early adopter tech. Yeah, I mean, Victory I feel like has always been pretty quick to create new versions. Like the SKR Mini, right? There was like Rebs and then completely different versions, like the V2.0 and the V3 version of it. I think that still the M8P standard is still awesome, but I am excited to use the easy drivers and the new. That's what I was going to show you guys a little bit earlier. Was that we got the Big Tree Tech, the Manta E3 Easy V1.0. So I'm super excited. This is, I don't know what this is. I have another Ender 5 that's just got the Micro Swiss NG extruder, and I might throw it into there. But these look cool. I haven't used the easy drivers yet. I anticipate that kind of one of the cool factors about it, other than cooling, is that it takes up less space, it would seem like, compared to your standard Pololu drivers. So you can either have smaller boards or just, smaller boards and just more real estate for other things on the boards. You can use the heavier build plate without the Hydra setup. Yeah. I'm going to justify Rocky. Oh, that's the one that's in Colorado, right? Did you see the Easy? Yeah, the Easy Octopus Max looks absolutely insane. Okay, let's see here. I think that Dutch sent over the new cube, the calibration cube. He did. And he sent over the main sail theme, which I don't know how to update right now, but I will have to update that because we need that for this. Okay, so I'm gonna keep everything pretty much. All right, let's do this. So all I've done is adjusted the extruder tension. We're gonna go with the calibration cube. Holy crap. That is not a cube. Oh, it doesn't say cube, it just says calibration. That's pretty cool though. Okay, so let's try this, but let's do a few different things here. I want infill. I'm going with 20. And we will go with cubic. Is cubic what I want? Yeah, we'll go with cubic. And then let's do top solid 120. Okay, I want to see how it goes with this infill. A little less extrusion. The only thing we've done is adjust the, oh, do we have minimum part cooling timeline? Layer time goal. We could YOLO it. How much will that affect? That didn't shave off any time. That's weird. Flow is still the same. I haven't adjusted flow because I kind of just want to see. I adjusted the crap out of the tension on this. It was much tighter. I loosened it completely, and then just tightened the extruder to the point where I can still pull it out if I put enough pressure, but it's at least got a fairly good bite onto it. Well, before I think it was much tighter, and I don't know. I'm assuming it was from the factory. I don't remember tensioning this. It is everything that you would need to build a Merc. So if that prints well, the Merc parts. Oh, that's cool. Wait, isn't that minimum? Is there a separate? Isn't that the setting for adjusting it? Speed, printer settings, machine limits. That's for, you're talking about acceleration there, right? I don't think I have it adjusting anything. Print settings, speed. No, I was in the right one a second ago. Machine limits. Print settings, speed and print, machine limits. You talking about here? Looks like everything's. Oh. Got you. You said machine limits. Yeah, that's definitely what's causing it. So let's bump it. What do I have it set to in the firmware? We're at 3,000. All right, let's bump it to 3,000 then. Oops. There we go. Okay, maximum acceleration X. 3,000, maximum acceleration Y, 3,000. I'm gonna leave that as is. Thank you, Alien. Still says an hour and 10 minutes. Max extruding. Oh, max acceleration when extruding. Thank you. acceleration when traveling. Okay, gotcha. Max acceleration when retracting. I don't know if that needs to be slower. I would imagine not. It's probably fine. Set everything to 3,000. Okay. That made a difference. Thank you. We shaved off half an hour. All right, let's send it now. Yeah, let's do it. Do you want the extruder accelerating that fast? I don't think it's going to be an issue. Did it say what the recommended max extrusion was, acceleration? Yeah, so they say acceleration 10,000, so it should be fine. Thank you, Alien. I know this is going to spend hours trying to figure it out. I think most of the Clipper stuff that I've used is still probably V0, Switchwire, or things that like started off with a Clipper profile, so they had higher settings. I don't think I've done that as often where I've grabbed a stock, basically a stock Marlin profile of a Crowdy printer and switched it over. I thought you were losing steps at 4,000 on travel. It's been a little bit, Nick, since it was prior to the holidays, and I think it was at 200 millimeters a second at 4,000 acceleration that it was skipping. I think that is for the X, Y, and Z only, not extruder. It should be for the extruder. It's the things that came with here should be, they're all specific for the orbiter extruder. It's like the manual they provide you with the orbiter extruder. I still use Z-Hop. I mean, not all the time. It depends on the printer. And depends on also the material. Especially if you're printing with something like, I don't know, like I was printing with carbon fiber nylon the other day for, like, basically just to test out a nozzle. And the carbon fiber was wanting to warp a little bit around the edges. And so I just have it on. I just have it on for safety. Just to give me a little extra leeway. It has X and Y on the back of the cube. Oh, nice. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Oh, I'm not showing it, am I? This is pretty cool. All right, let's see what happens. I have no idea what's gonna happen. Okay, adhesion looks okay. That's good. Yeah, for me it depends on the printer. Some printers that I've used, they do not Z-Hop well. Oh, that's not sticking that well. I really don't like this this bed setup. Yeah, it's not sticking good enough. It's so annoying. All right, let me stop it really quick. So how much have you learned from building the Mercury 1? How much have you learned? I'm trying to think how much of this would have been new to me. I don't think much of it was new to me. Building based off of CAD drawings, although I would be 100% lying if I said I completely built off of that, because Scott's videos definitely came in clutch, as well as your help and Turtle's help and really everyone's help. But it was the first time that I haven't had step-by-step instructions, so that was a little bit different. Although, honestly, having the CAD really helps a ton. I think I'm gonna add a hair of glue stick, man. I don't like this this service at all. Do you include a reverse Bowden coupler? Just a little bit. I will be very excited when we have the thicker bed with the powder coated PEI on it. Daniel, have you learned nothing? I'm trying to, like, hold on, let me stop this, then I'm gonna go in. Things that were different. I feel like because of the Vorons and like the rat rig and the second cube that I built in the last 12 months, basically, a lot of it was fairly familiar. If I hadn't built those, I would say that I have a lot of this stuff would have been completely new. Agree with Alien. What did Alien say? Dawn dish soap and water remains undefeated even over. So Dawn dish soap I use on powder coated PEI. So my typical like cleaning of powder coated PEI is just isopropyl alcohol. Normally works. After enough time and prints, it stops working well. And just a drop of some dish soap, Dawn dish soap, I guess it's typically what we have here, and that seems what everyone recommends, does a fantastic job. I'm also going to, one second, 0.05, that's too much. Let's go 0.01. A dab of Dawn dish soap and wiping it really clean and then using some paper towels basically restores it to brand new. On this build surface though, I don't have a remedy for this because I typically scrap this as quick as I possibly can. I just don't like these build surfaces. I feel like even if they work, it's not sticking in the same exact spot. I feel like even if they work for a little bit, eventually they just start to wear down and they're just not great at all. Yeah, I think that's, I feel like IPA though still does a good job as a quick rebuff or a buffer in between every certain amount of prints. But I do agree that dish soap and water actually removes it. I mean, to be fair, everyone has their kind of their own remedies, but that's what's worked for me for a really long time. I don't see, at least for powder coated PEI, I won't claim to know how to clean all the surfaces. This is what I call knockoff build tack, because it's essentially what it is. It's like a build tack surface, but a knockoff one. I'm not a fan at all. I'm not a fan at all. I think it's super cheap. But yeah, I would say that, especially if when you get the instructions done for this Dutch, like this should be, like this is a fairly simple conversion with the only thing I don't think simple is that some people just don't like soldering, period. And the fact that there is some soldering, especially for the limit switches, it's not complicated soldering, but that's the only deterrent I really see, is that some people are like, ooh, no, I can't solder, it's too much. But as far as the actual build goes, again, once the directions get flushed out, it's a pretty big platform. It's nice and open. There's a lot of tools, there's jigs. Like, I don't think it's going to be a bad build. Like, it feels like most would be able to accomplish it. My only concern really is with that little bit of soldering. Yeah, the soldering, man. There's some people I've met that just, they won't touch soldering irons. And I get it. I mean, when I first was learning how to solder, now like 10 years ago, I was intimidated and I broke things. Like back then it was me modding Xboxes and I broke a few because I was soldering really delicate pads on the underside of the CPU, I guess it would have been, I believe. And I fried a couple of boards, and so I was like, oh man, I suck. But I learned eventually, and after spending enough money and time, and so now like I don't do any of that really like small pad trace soldering anymore. So all the stuff that I've had to do with 3D printing has been really easy. Like if there's ever like an unpopulated PCB with through holes, like that's no problem at all. Yeah, I have burned myself plenty of times with a soldering iron. I'm one of the soldering peeps, and then I bought a good soldering iron, got much easier. Yeah. I mean, I get it, right? Like it's a hot iron and you're melting solder and you're trying to connect two different metal or two pieces of metal together. It's intimidating. You don't, I mean, but it's like with anything. I mean, 3D printing, until you get a feel for what a first layer gap should be, or you know what adhesion is right, like it's all scary. It's just like anything new. I think that the best, like, usually I've recommended to people just to get an unpopulated breadboard, like they have blank through-hole boards, and just some various components and practice soldering them. That's a really good way to just practice without worrying about damaging anything. Hey, what's up, Llama? I feel like I saw you last week too, but I'm telling everyone Happy New Year's again, so we're gonna keep that train going. Happy New Year's. Oh, it's also time to do our giveaway. I'll give everyone 60 seconds. If you have not signed up for the giveaway that's in the chat, it's for a spool of Polymaker filament. Go, 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 and then I will close it. I haven't used the Rapido, but I've heard really good things about it. What is BuildTak made from? I have no idea. But BuildTak was basically, so I don't know, like, I mean, everyone's been 3D printing for different stages of time. When I first started printing in 2014, the things that were used were blue painter's tape and glass. That was primarily the only two things I saw. And then somewhere in the mix, there was like Kapton tape thrown in, glass with hairspray, that was another big popular one. And then BuildTak came out of nowhere and like was the bee's knees. It was a sticker build surface that didn't require any of those adhesives and things just stuck down. And back then, a lot of 3D printers didn't have heated beds, and man, even PLA can be difficult to get to stick down without a heated bed, especially if your first layer is not just perfect and your bed's not super clean. So BuildTak came out and they were the like OGs, and they did really well for a really long time. I mean, printers were shipping with BuildTak filament, and the company's really cool. Like I dig BuildTak, but now that powder coated PEI is a thing, or smooth PEI, I haven't used it in a really long time. Well, this is cool. Free designer sheet with purchase. So now they're doing like custom sheets. But yeah, I don't know. It's a proprietary material, and I think that it's their own sort of thing to do in house. They have expanded now. They've got other surfaces. I haven't used them. That's not true. I've used their smooth PEI. I had a good experience with it. It was actually my first time using PEI. I've never used their nylon, and yeah, I don't like having to replace sheets. You get a sheet of powder coated PEI and it covers all of your standard 3D printing. I use that for, you know, PLA, PTG, TPUs, and ABSs. And so I just love the simplicity of it. With smooth PEI, it's a sheet typically, so you have concerns with possibly PTG or TPU bonding to it, then tearing it, which is super frustrating. I just don't like dealing with that anymore. I believe BuildTak is primarily polycarbonate. Okay. It damn well might be. I have no idea. You going to do the stiff bed upgrade or jump to Hydra? I'm jumping to, oh, you're talking about Zombie, the printed stiff bed upgrade I was talking about, right? So I'm not doing it on this. I have the Hydra, all the parts for it printed, and the mixed 6 bed with the AC silicone heater. That's what's going on here. I might do the stiff bed upgrade on the other Ender 5 Pro I have that's in the garage right now. That one has the Micro Swiss NG extruder. It's completely stock other than that. So that one might get it because I don't think I'm doing a full conversion with that. I'll probably leave it as is and just reinforce the bed. Yeah, I love powder coated PEI. I am clumsy, I screw things up, and powder coated PEI is super forgiving of my mistakes. Like the amount of times I have just not set the Z offset or forgot to hit save and I hit go and the nozzle just drags across the build plate. All it takes is like one time with many surfaces. But powder coated PEI, I mean, man, it still might not be great for the bed or great for your nozzle, but it's way more forgiving if you make silly mistakes. So it looks like the filament isn't melting quick enough. I'm looking at some of the overhangs. What are we printing at temp-wise? I would imagine 215. 215, yeah, I don't know. But I'm looking at the overhangs and they don't look bonded very well. We're gonna keep doing this thing. I'll probably spend some time doing some calibration on this over the next couple days here. Okay, so let's, I'm removing the form. Let's do this giveaway. We have 96 entries. Nice, almost 100. We have 79 likes and 116 viewers. Everybody that has not liked, please like. If we can hit 100 likes, I will be super stoked. I'm super stoked anyways, but I will be extra pumped. Could be bed too hot. That's right. I did go up to 270. Or nope, that's not right. I went up to 70, I think, because I was having issues with it. It might be worth swapping out. I think I have a no, I don't know. The issue with these is that the magnet on the bed is so bad that they bank on the actual, this top sheet also is a magnet, so it's two magnets. So if you just use like sheet metal on top of here, or spring steel, I'm sorry, it just doesn't stick well at all. You can sometimes get away with printing, but if you're moving quick, it's really easy for it to shift. So, and I don't know, we'll see. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this stock setup. Maybe I'll give it a good clean over and see if I can get it printing a little bit better so I can lower the temp down to 60. What was I doing? We're doing a giveaway. Okay. YouTube chat name. Sweet. If we were over 100, it would take me a little bit longer, but because we're at 97, it's perfect. $270 bed. Yep, bed's at 270. The contest form was pinned in the chat. It's always pinned at the very top of the chat for 30 minutes of the stream. Yeah, I'll probably end up giving it a good clean. Maybe I'll try the dish soap you guys are recommending and see if it works well for me on that's actually funny. It almost looks like it's under extruding now, which makes me wonder if it's because of how much I loosen this. I'm gonna have to screw around with this a little bit more later on. Yeah, it definitely looks, I'm almost tempted to just stop this and print another swatch truck. I'll do that after though, because I have a feeling now it's gonna show it as being under extruded. Fun stuff. Okay, yeah. As always, massive thank you to Polymaker. Polymaker has been a supporter of the channel for, gosh, not quite a year now, but like 8 months, and they allow us to do a giveaway every single week of a spool of Polymaker filament to anywhere in the world, which is absolutely awesome. The way it goes is whoever wins, I will contact you. Usually it's same day, later tonight. I'll send you an email that'll have a form. So just fill it out with your info, the spool you want, and yeah, your ship to address, and Polymaker will get that to you. So Polymaker is amazing. Again, for anyone that is also new, it's for any PLA, ABS, ASA, or PTG, but it does not count for like exotics or specialties. So no carbon, no, carbon's the main one that comes to mind. No glass filled. I don't know if they have glass filled for any of those, but anyways, it's like the standard, so any color but standard ones. Anyway, I'm ranting. All right, good luck everybody. Let's get this going. 3, 2, and good luck all. Wow, that's a great question. Alien, I don't know. Zombie, do you know if you can choose their new co-extrusion filament? Hey, John. I'm just gonna go John. John, congratulations, you are our winner. Let's go. A little confetti action, a little cheers. Congratulations, John. I will send you an email later today then, and you'll be able to fill it out in Polymaker, especially if you're in the United States. They are really quick. If you're outside the States, it sometimes takes a little bit longer, but I saw people that won Polymaker filament last Wednesday in the 100K stream that had their spools by like Friday or Saturday. It was wild, so congratulations. It's mainly because people were getting engineering filament but couldn't print with them. Oh, interesting. Any PLA, sick. That's really cool. So you can even do their co-extrusion. I haven't even used their co-extrusion filament. I'm excited to use it. I saw someone printing with it just the other day and it looked awesome. Yeah, I would definitely say it's under extruded. Tighten the hair more. Oh yeah. All my 49% off spools, including the dual color silk from the stream, made it by Sunday. Yeah, that's absolutely insane. Did you order any yet? I haven't ordered any of the No, I haven't ordered any filament from Polymaker since all that ABS showed up, which was like 3 months ago or so now. I need to buy some. I saw Print the Zombie posted, and yeah. Oh yeah, it was probably the articulated dragon, right? I saw that's one of the ones I saw. It was zombie printed the other day. It's really pretty. Any recommendations for aftermarket bed magnets when swapping in Mercury? Yeah, so Fabrico sells just the magnets, and I purchased it for the KP. Nope, I purchased it for the what was it? The Rat Rig V Minion, because I goofed and I tried to use a laser to. It was more for science than goofing. I'm gonna say goofed. It was for science. I tried to use a laser to cut out the holes for the screws that needed to go through the magnetic bed, and it worked, but it made the actual section where it cut became so fragile that it was just cracking, and it started to extend further. So I've ordered their magnets, and I have been really happy with it. Maybe it's not magnets, maybe just magnet or magnetic. Okay, let's try the word magnetic. Maybe that's the winner. Nope, maybe not. Huh, unless you got rid of them. What is this? High strength magnet. This might have been what I ordered. I don't know stock. It's all out of stock. Huh, maybe he doesn't have them anymore. If that's the case, then I don't know. Because they usually come in bundles. Yeah, it looks like it's out of stock. That's a bummer. I don't know. That's what I ordered. If anyone else has any recommendations. Is there more, or is that it? Let me search it again. Graviflex. Huh, yeah, he's out of all of it. That sucks. I don't know which one I had ordered, but it's been really good. I hope he gets them again, because it's really handy. And I was really happy with the quality of it. I want the new sparkly ABS. I do too. I want it too. Most beds that Fabrico sells include the magnet. Yeah, I think that most do, but I think that it would be cool if they're... You know what? Wham Bam also sells... That's right. Wham Bam sells magnets as well. So you can do that. But let me see if you go like... Honey Badger bed. Okay, so these are smooth black. PEI. Dual-sided, single-sided. So is there an option on each of the product pages then? No, this is just the top surface. PEI textures. I'm not seeing them including magnets. Or maybe I'm searching the wrong word. Maybe flex plate would be flex plate. Does that ring it up? Nope. I don't know. I'm giving up. Wham Bam and TH3D both sell magnets. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I've probably used or ordered Wham Bams once or twice as well. Yeah, it's a really good magnet. I hope again that he gets them more. How's the print looking? I would say it's looking pretty meh. Not great. It just looks like it's under extruding now, which is pretty funny considering it was over extruding just, you know, just a moment ago. It feels like the extruder has a really good grip. Yeah, it's not looking great. I mean, I've had worse prints, lots worse prints, but something needs to be dialed in. Either E-steps or temp, or I feel like tension is solid now, so I don't know that it's tension. I can probably get you guys a little closer. Let's see. I guess you can't really tell the quality from that shot. To be honest, this is a fairly rough test print. Yeah, I think that after this one, I'm probably going to go back to Zombie's, the calibration swatch truck. Thank you. I'm going to go back to the swatch truck and see how that looks with the different tension and see if I can get that looking good, because it's a quicker print. And I'd rather get it closer with this before throwing it something complicated like this. It is really cool to have though. And again, if you had a printer and you're looking to print out Mercury parts for the build, and you throw this at it and it performs. Also though, again, if I was printing out these parts currently with most of my printers, I would be taking it way slower. The exception is the bamboo printers right now, because you just throw it at it and the default profile set to crazy mode just work fine. But on any of my other printers, I would be taking it slower if it was parts for a, you know, functional parts that are going on a printer. I've gotten a few Amazon cheapos. They're thinner and don't have the same holding power. Yeah, I've also done the same thing. I think I ordered, I don't remember which one exactly. It's been a while, but I've ordered one off Amazon as well, and the quality was just not as good. Some of them also that use the really cheap magnets, after enough hot and cool cycles, especially if you're printing ABS, they start to lose some of the magnetism. They just don't, they start to hold worse and worse over time, which is also a huge bummer. So I would spend, the bed is the main platform for your printer, and you don't want to cheap out on that. It's worth spending the extra 10-15 bucks on it to get a higher quality bed and magnet. What is a Mercury 1.1? This is an Ender conversion. I would recommend going to the Discord or their website, but yeah, it's a conversion for the Ender 5, Ender 5 Pro, or Ender 5 Plus. There are kind of multiple parts to it. That's not right. But the base conversion converts it to a Core XY 3D printer, and their modified toolhead, which is a modified EVA 2.4. But yeah, I would recommend going to their website, and they've got the BOM here. They've got some docs, and there's a lot of great info. Let's see if you go to the fact. There we go. There we go. What is Mercury 1.1? Let's hear it from the pros themselves. Mercury 1 is an open source community project. It's a Core XY based motion system 3D printer. It's based off the Ender 5 ecosystem, meaning it is adaptable to any Ender 5 frame. It is developed and maintained by enthusiasts in their free time. No one is getting paid for any of their work. So that is the official one. Yeah, but I would recommend checking out their Discord if you're interested. It's a very cool project. It's a lot of fun, and the thing that's really cool too is let's say you only had enough money for the Ender 5 or something like that, Ender 5 Pro, and you can get that. Well, cool. You've got Ender 5 Pro. Maybe you print out some tensioners for the bed on it. Sweet. Then if you decide, okay, I'm ready to upgrade. I want to do Clipper with Core XY and all that, then you do the next step. And then maybe after a while you're like, hey, I want to upgrade to their tri-point bed, the Hydra. Cool, you can do that. And then there's even other mods for things like the auxiliary fan setup, where it adds a ton of air blowing across the build plate. It will really help with cooling when you're printing super quick. And it's even with Clipper, you'd even be able to do something like the ERCF, which is a multi-material, multi-color option. So there's a lot of cool things you can do with it. And even if you go with just the base conversion, which is what we've got right here, other than using the Klicky mod, it's rad. It's really cool, man. Oh, that wind mouth looks so old school. It looks like the one I had on my G-Tech printer. Wind mouth? What wind mouth? Just curious, I'll probably order more to have on hand, just in case. Where do you guys buy your Gates belts? Primarily looking for US options. I've ordered Gates belts off of AliExpress, which doesn't answer your question. I've ordered them off of Amazon, question mark? I'm sure Fabrico has them. If I remember with my, yeah, so you can get them here, which might not be a bad idea. There's different options too, high temp versus standard. I'm sure standard would be fine. Yeah, I think that the primary time I ordered it was actually just from Ali when I was building the V0.1. I just ordered quite a bunch, or quite a lot of it. Had you not read the ANET A8 manual? I doubt it. I doubt it. I did a step-by-step build of it because of how poor everything was. I mean, watch. Let me see if I go. Let's see. So if we go to the main modbot channel.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Before we get into
Pretty sure I built the, no, maybe I didn't. You know what? I thought I did a step-by-step build of the ANET A8. I thought I did the entire thing. I did. Yeah, ANET A8 building. So I covered the frame. Is it in a playlist? I don't even know if it's in a playlist. Before attempting to make sure your package came with all your cards. This is an old video. This is from the beginning of 2017. So we're almost, this is almost 6 years old. But yeah, so I covered the frame, the lower frame,
what's going on, guys?
the Y-axis and the hotbed, the Z-axis and the LCD screen,
Hey, what's going on?
the X-axis and the extruder, the wiring, like I went through everything. I mean, granted, compared to the videos I've been creating now, like quality is not nearly as detailed, but it was substantially better than what ANET had put out. And I just saw a lot of people that were getting frustrated with it, and even I felt like the manual was so bad that I went and did it. Which one was it that you blew up like 10 hours? Oh, that was me. Oh yeah, you're saying which one was it? Yeah. Yeah, I can show you guys that.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
It was my first printer kit build ever, where I crossed my mains. Learned a lesson that day, not to do any electrical stuff when you're tired. Yeah, so basically, oh, you guys can't see this. This was my first build. I had already had my, it's me, little me, in my parents' house. My DaVinci 1.0, I'd already had it for like 2 years, and I was like, all right, I'm ready to build something. So this was March 23rd of 2016. It's crazy to think that's the case. And so I streamed the first 8 hours of it, just sitting here building this thing for 8 hours straight, like no breaks. So I was like, yeah, I'll just do it. And then, why does it look like the model is bending the build plate? Wait, are you saying on this or no, back on? I don't know if you're talking about this or anything else, but. Well, this was, so 2016, almost 7 years ago, and I graduated in I was out of high school for a while. I was just skinny, man. I was really skinny, and had very little facial hair. If I shave my facial hair, I still lose like a lot of years on my face, which is why I don't like to shave my beard, because I look very little. But yeah, so that was part one. And then I ran to the store because the kit was missing some parts, and I came back and streamed for another 4 hours. So this would have been, oh, this is where it happened. Yeah, so this was basically 12 hours into a stream, and I need to get this thing done. And you can see it. I think it had just happened. Someone had to have timestamped it. Let me see. There we go. Woo. There it is. You can't see a direct shot, but you see the sparks flying. Woo. Yeah, my heart skipped like 10 beats that day, and I'm pretty sure I ended it pretty quickly after that. I'm glad I didn't die, and yeah, learned a very valuable lesson when working with electronics, to not work with electronics when you're super tired, and definitely don't work with electronics when you are super tired and it's time to play with mains. So again, could have been much better, or no, that's not right. Could have been much worse. I'm thankful. Dude, I had this comforter that was a Pokemon comforter. You can hardly see it behind me, but there's a Pikachu on here. Anyways, yeah, that was a very scary moment. 3D printing was rough, man. Like, it was, like, there was nothing about 3D printing that I felt like was doing anyone any favors back then. It was all just, like, pretty much rep forums and you alone in your room talking to people on forums, because I don't think I started playing around with the printers around the same time Chuck did and Joel did and everybody. Tom, I think even too. There really just wasn't much content out there. Angus, and so yeah, much of it was just forums and trial and error, and it was a lot of error on my part. So yeah, fun stuff, y'all. Fun stuff. Things are much nicer now. There's still so much stuff. I mean, I'm always learning new stuff every day. It's I don't think it'll be a journey that ever really stops, but much more thankful for the instructions, the hardware, and the software that's available now compared to what was available back then. Yeah, I agree, Alien. Good instructions when it comes to the mains is really, really important. For sure. I did that today, but I filled the room with smoke. Oh no! Yeah, I'm glad I'm still alive as well. It was a good lesson, seriously. Like, I mean, again, it would have been nice to have that lesson without having that lesson, right? Like, just knowing what... I didn't really, like, I have no background in any of the electronic stuff, and I had never done any of this stuff before. I had no, like, sort of... no one to really look up to with it all. It was just, I like this stuff. I'm kind of nerdy. Like, let's learn how to do it. So yeah, it was trial by fire, absolutely. And when I was doing the, when I was hacking and modding on the Xboxes, all the electronics I was exposed to was like 12 volts. I was never playing around with mains, so that was all new to me at that point. I learned today to look at a new PSU before just moving the wires over, because they might, oh my god, they might not be in the same place. Yeah, that is rough. I could absolutely see that happening to me. I've done plenty of things and still do plenty of things that make me scratch my head. I'm like, how is it possible that you did that, dude? Like, you know better. Yeah. Again, you just gotta be thankful that you don't hurt yourself beyond repair, and, you know, learn from it. That's all you can do, really. Tom said, yeah, it was all about the same time frame. I still prefer to build from scratch with the Ender 3s and screw on a tower and go building. Yeah, I think that, like, the reason why I like 3D printing, and the reason why I've stuck with it so long, when I have been interested in a lot of things in my life, and I'm interested in it heavily for a while, and then I'm over it completely, is because of how diverse it is. The application, the materials, the mechanics, like, all the things surrounding it is just, it's a blank canvas, and I love that. And so, as much as I love, like, building, whether it's completely from scratch, or, you know, like a full source bomb, or converting, or it's plug and play, or it's the Ender 3 where you're bolting a few things together, like, I love and appreciate it all, because I think that there is an audience for all of it. Everyone has different sort of comfortability levels and different goals and what they want, and so maybe for some a full build is just way too ambitious for their first project, but like an Ender 3, they can do something like that. So I appreciate how non-rigid 3D printing really is, but I get it, because I think that tell me you're an adult with undiagnosed ADHD. That tell me you're an adult with undiagnosed ADHD. It was funny, yeah. Well, it's funny because I didn't grow up around very many people that I would say, like, or at least hung out with people that I feel were very much so like me. And the older I've gotten and the more I've gotten into like the tech space and the 3D printing space, I'm like, there are a lot of people that are very hyper and very focused and very doing all these different things, which has been sort of a relief. I'm like, you know, you're still probably crazy, but like, there's others like you. You can all be crazy together. So, once you unlock your ADHD diagnosis, they give you a 3D printer. Is that so? Should probably go get officially tested then. US is based on 240. We just split balance the lines to make it easier and safer to use. I call that you lummet it. Ay. G funny wants trail mix. I think I'm maybe I should have trail mix. I'm getting hungry. It's been what, 2.5 hours? Probably gonna call it pretty soon here. I think how much longer is on this? We're at 86%. Let this print finish so that way we can critique it, and then I can later on spend more time just tweaking settings until we figure it out. Let's see, does it have an ETA on this? Estimation roughly 6 minutes. No, ETA 15 minutes. Dogs are barking. Yeah, we'll chill for like another 10 or so. Like I said earlier in the stream, I don't know. I'm gonna sit for a sec, guys. I never sit on stream. I don't know why. I just too hyper, too antsy to sit. But starting next week, I don't know exactly what we're gonna do yet. I'll have it posted by this weekend. But there's like a handful of projects between continuing on this, which maybe that's what we'll do. We might take a little break from here just that way I can get some footage of it, because I do think that making a video sort of on the base conversion could be valuable for those interested to get an idea of like, this is what you get if you do an Ender 5 Pro or, you know, an Ender 5 Plus, any Ender 5 other than the newest one, and do the conversion of the Mercury 1.1 and kind of a rough idea of what that cost would be, because it adds so much more complication when you upgrade the bed and go the Hydra route and all the electronics, which I'm super excited for and wouldn't have it any other way. But I do think there might be value in sort of showing this base as is. So if that's the case, maybe we'll start building a stealth burner next week. I have all the parts, I think, to convert the switch wire to a stealth burner, and I can definitely have all the ABS parts printed out by next week, so that way we can start doing that. Because I've never used a stealth burner. I've seen them. I think they look beautiful. I love the lights, both the RGB and the white lights for illuminating your print area, but I've never used one. So, hey, what's up, Nazo? My day has been really good. It was a chill. Erin made an awesome breakfast. She made maple sausage with scrambled eggs with pear and apple and toast. Hey, talking about your breakfast. What is that? Trail mix? It's not my trail mix though, huh? I like my trail mix. I'll have some of it. I'll have some of it. Thank you. Delilah's jealous. I was talking about your breakfast.
Yeah?
It was really good. Let's see. Wow, now I'm jealous of your breakfast.
Yeah, well, we also had a animal.
I had animals. I'm gonna make a smoothie after this too. Yep. Thank you very much. Get yourself the logo rainbow barf and the fan LED thing. I'm not, oh my God. I don't know what that is. I mean, I can picture what that is. I need to see that. Christian, are you in the Modbot Army Discord? If you are, please tag me. I don't think I've seen that. I'm gonna start the designing of the llama crow very soon. I have to con you into the punishment. What is the llama crow? Oops. I'm intrigued. Will you be building a tap? I can't right now. The switch wire, as far as I'm aware, isn't compatible with tap. I think the primary reason is because of the PCB bed. We're supposed to be building a 2.4. I'm waiting on confirmation from Fabrico on when that's happening. And so if we do end up doing that, like things are planned, then at that point, which I mean, that's gonna be down the line. I don't anticipate that. If we start it, I don't anticipate it being done for like 2-ish plus months. But I would love to. I just don't have the option to right now. So I definitely won't be doing it on the switch wire. Eva is better for PLA. Don't make a smoothie unless you have enough for everyone. I love smoothies. My dad raised me on smoothies. Like, he would make them all the time. And so, and they're so simple. Just frozen fruit. If you've got some non-frozen fruit, throw it in there too. A little bit of Dole juice. You got to use Dole juice. Doesn't really matter which one. All the Dole juices are great. And some vanilla yogurt. And that's it. I don't even add ice cubes. You don't have to add ice cubes if you use frozen fruit because it's already super cold. It will be a cross-gantry motion system like Ultimaker and a couple of the race setup. Interesting. Well, if you end up like progressing on it, and well, I'm sure you'll post stuff on Twitter, but I'm definitely intrigued. I'd love to see more about it. Splitting the build up between the different iterations to live with each stage for a while sounds like a plan. Yeah, I don't want to do it too long because I know that, well, Luke was originally going to be doing his Hydra as I did mine. But things always take me longer because I talk, I get distracted, we do other things in between. So he already did his, this is done. So I don't have to feel quite as bad that he's waiting on me anymore. But I also know there was some other people that were interested in seeing the process of Hydra, and so I would like to document as much of it as possible for those people. So I don't want to space it out too far, but at least a little bit. Like, again, even if it's just one extra week, so that way I can do some calibrating, do some printing with this, show it off, kind of show what it's capable of in its stock state. I think it'd be really cool. So that's probably the plan right now. And we'll see what happens after that. But on the cheap with wheels and 220 instead of... Oh, interesting. So a budget. So wait, so similar to a, similar to then like an Ender 5 stock build setup then, where you have your X and your Y? Or no, you're saying cross gantry. Isn't that? Because Ultimaker has two smooth rods on the Y and two and two, like across. Can't picture it. I did mine offline and was trying to get it done. Oh, you're trying to get it done before me. Okay. For some reason, I thought you were saying you're trying to do it with me, and I was like, oh man, I'm taking a lot longer. So he went ahead, which makes sense. I wouldn't be able to wait if I was ready to rock and roll. Hangout stream next week also totally works if you want to do another project. Hangout stream next week also works if you want to do another. Gotcha. I will. I think next week we'll do a little print. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit more Hangout streams in the mix. Most everyone here knows, but we're expecting our son. His due date is mid-March to late March, and as much as no matter whether it's rain, sleet, snow, hail, I'm sick. I haven't missed a Saturday's video in I think 2.5 years or something like that now. It's been crazy, and we haven't missed a stream other than the week I got married. Because chat wouldn't let me. Chat said you're not allowed to stream. So this is probably going to be an exception. I'm trying to bank a video. It's very tough with my schedule to do an extra video every week. Or no, like to make a secondary video happen when I'm doing a video a week. The scripting, shooting, editing, all that process, along with working, makes it very difficult. But I'm going to try to have a filler video ready for the week that he's born. I anticipate we will not be streaming that week. I will very likely not. And depending on how everything happens, we might be having a little bit more often of a Hangout stream because I'm sure I will be very tired trying to figure out how to do the dad thing and what babies need, because I have not been around babies at all really in my life. I have a very vague idea of what is required, so I anticipate I will be more tired and we will likely have more print, chill, and just shoot the shit streams, which should be a ton of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Congrats, had my daughter on 11/11. That is a lucky day, Cody. Congratulations to you, and thank you. Do something easy next week, like NXK3. Yeah, all right, Nick. And I hope he gets born on the 20th of March because I was born that date. That's awesome. There's a lot of things in March. It's like Aaron's mom was born in March. My best friend was born in March. There's a couple other dates, and so everyone's like pulling straws to see when he's gonna be born. Hey, what's up, Dutch? No cross gantry like you have here with the 2020 and X, but there is another whole gantry of 2020 for the Y. No belts to the head. I can't even picture what my stock Ender 5 looked like before I converted it now. 1 second, let me pull it up. Ender 5. That is not an Ender 5 Pro, that is an Ender 5 Pro. Okay, so this setup has it where there is... I need to see... You're saying Raise 3D printers are like that? Because when I worked at Matter Hackers, we sold both Ultimaker and Raise printers. So I've been around a lot of them, and I can't picture Ultimaker motion system. Okay, cross gantry. This is what you're talking about. Oh. Oh, no. No, this is like the Annex engineering one. So you're not talking about this kind of cross gantry. No, okay, this is a K2. Okay, Ultimaker 2. That's a little bit older, but I think it has the same... Okay, so these guys have it where... Oh, interesting. So the belts are fully routed on the outside. So X has 2 belts going across the edges, and Y has 2 belts going across the edges. I don't know that I ever really realized that. Interesting. So yeah, it has full belts running in every single direction. That must be what you're talking about. I was missing it. We will be here regardless. Take the time. Thank you, Alien. I have no idea how things are gonna go. I'm gonna do my best. That's what I always do, is I show up, try to smile, and do my best. So that's all I can do. X1 or P1P, which is your favorite? Oh gosh. So, just like the NX. Okay, so quick answer to your question, which isn't a, here we go. Then we'll take a look at the print, and then I'm gonna go and bid everyone adieu. First, I'm gonna eat a banana. Hold on. Okay. Your question is X1 or P1P, which one do I like better? If money was not part of the equation, I like the X1 better. I think that the glass, the aesthetic of it is gorgeous, which I know is only a small part of it, but when you're spending that chunk of change on something, having it look nice, it looks very bare bones. I'm fine with the look of it. I don't mind the look of it. But the aluminum side with the glass looks very, very nice, and I like their stock LED, which I know you can add to here, but I like their stock LED. I like the touchscreen, which you can't get on here. They have a higher quality camera, which you can't get on here from what I'm seeing so far. LiDAR doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot for me, especially considering I'm running powder-coated beds on both of them. And it's my understanding that because of the way the LiDAR works, it's not compatible with the powder-coated bed. I like that it's fully enclosed also it's been an ABS beast for me. All of these ABS parts, all of these parts right here, which there's a lot in here, and all these ABS parts, and all the ones for the printer on the ground, and no, not those. Like they were all printed, like it just, I throw an ABS part at it, sometimes out of brim if it's like a full tray. It's also 40 degrees in the garage, and it was colder than that a couple weeks ago. It just does the damn thing, and like, I mean, really, really well. I don't check the first layer, which is something I always tell everyone you should always do. ABS part, it's beautiful. So, if cost was a factor, I think that the P1P gets you like 90% of the way there, and I anticipate it's going to be pretty easy to get it almost all the way there. I have a feeling we're gonna see panels, not just printable panels. I have a feeling some companies are gonna come out with panels. I had mentioned last week that, and I don't see how it's a surprise, but Bamboo is going to be releasing an upgrade path to make it a hardened tool head, everything hardened, so that way if you want to print with abrasives. And yeah, that's really it. So I think that, you know, again, if you are not wanting to spend the money I get it, because I think that the P1P is a better value. I do think it's a better value. So, but yes, if someone came up to me and said, choose P1P or X1, and that was the only thing, I choose the X1. There's a lot of things I really like about it. But I think that for $699, the P1P is an absolute bargain. It is an incredible deal for what you're getting. So, that's my thoughts. Alien's taking off. Bye, Alien. Next week, again, I'll get to printing on the stealth burner parts, and we'll get to do that next week. And stealth burner and clockwork, too. I think we'll end up doing both of them, so. The X, you said I would use the X1 more for printer parts. It's primarily what I use it for. It is the printer that prints out other printers, 100%. The P1P has been awesome. Like anything that PLA, PTG, TPU, even nylon. I don't usually use an enclosure. Excuse me. With nylon, at least carbon nylons, but a lot of nylons don't really warp nearly as much from. Depending on your environment, I guess if you're in a cold garage, it's a different scenario, but in here, I don't have issues printing with nylon. As long as I have an appropriate first layer, like if I use the engineering build plate or another adhesive or surface that works, it does all those filaments really well, really quickly. I highly recommend getting the auxiliary fan. I'm ranting a lot about this. Yes, that's my thoughts on it. Yeah, the LCD screen is not great, and the camera also is not great. I don't understand why the FPS is so low on it. Okay, so here's this. There is some definite under extrusion. You can see it a little bit right there. And so it seems like it kind of got better. Is someone calling me? Someone calling me. Washington, DC is calling me. That's spam. It seems like it got better. There's a tiny bit up here. So I need to see, maybe I do need to still add a tiny bit more tension to this, but I'm gonna switch back to the swatch chuck and see how that goes. Y-axis, no, there's definitely still under extrusion. You can see it ever so slightly up here. There's not really any ringing, which is cool. I did calibrate input shaper based off of this current setup, so ringing looks really good. And yeah, I mean, definitely under extruding. Even the top looks under extruded. So yeah, it is set to 92% flow rate, or 0.92. The game plan I think right now is to don't change anything, leave it completely as is, and run a swatch truck, and use that as my comparison. If the swatch truck is under extruded as well, then I'm probably going to change from 0.92, and I'm slightly going to bump it up, because it went from over extruding to under extruding. Although it could just be I need to tension the extruder, which is just wild to me that it's having that much of an effect on it. So we'll see. I'll report back though. Next week we'll overhang is pretty solid. Oh shit, yeah, I should I should show that, because that is actually pretty impressive. Do you know what the I mean, I guess that's 90 degrees, right? Maximum. Let me see if I can get the reflection just right in the light for you guys. The overhang is quite clean. The cooling is doing a pretty damn good job. That is very impressive. I don't know. I was so focused on that. I didn't focus on that, but that looks really good. Okay, 70. Yeah, that looks awesome. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Put a reverse Bowden on it. It helps a lot with extrusion. That's a good call as well. For all I know, because right now the belt or the filament is just dangling and it's kind of just rubbing on the belts. It doesn't have the smoothest of paths, which I'm sure is doing no one any favors. So I need to see if I have a really long Bowden tube, and if not, I need to order one ASAP. But yeah, I need to route the filament much better. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do that right this second. I'll probably just take one of these stock. Oh no, I've already got it on here. Probably just find like a 2020 adapter that will take a compression fitting or a PTFE coupler and run the PTFE and try it again as well. Because yeah, I don't like this setup with the with this dangling, so I need to figure out something. Maybe I even look for a spool that can mount up here, a spool holder, so that way it's way up top. But at least everything's working. I just need to figure out getting this dialed in a little bit more. Get a reverse Bowden mounts. Get a reverse Bowden mounts for like a rat rig. P1P shipped with one, right? I don't know what you said, Dutch. Soft fever ports. Is that the port of that has like some additional features and other printers? If so, then I haven't used it now. Coin. Yeah, maybe a rear mount would make sense. And then I can just sort of pass it, I can attach it to the cable mesh and just have it feed down here. That's probably a really good idea. I mean, kind of inconvenient, I guess, for loading it, having it in the very back like that, but for now at least. And then later on, I will probably figure out maybe a more permanent solution as time progresses, but that's probably what I will do starting for now at least. Hey, what's up, Jerry? It has flow calibration patterns. Oh, cool. I might have to look into it. I've heard people talking about it, and the main reason was initially I saw that it was like, it had the Voron printers in there, but I haven't actually downloaded it or dived into it yet. When it moves left, it drags the spool. When it moves right, it freewheels. So you get pull, release, check the one, try it mount. It's a quick print. Sweet, thank you. Yeah, I'll definitely take a look. I was looking at it briefly, but just got busy with stuff, and then wasn't super sold on the options I was seeing out there, but I will definitely take a look. I'll send you some files for rear filament management. That sounds awesome, Scott. That is the official ZeroG spool holder mod. Wait, is there a different spool holder mod other than the one I'm talking about that requires the threaded rod? If there is, that's what I'll definitely print. I just didn't see anything. Maybe I didn't look heavy enough. There's a Fang filament holder that uses V-wheels on printables at rear mounts. All right, y'all. I think we are going to, we're going to call it there. That's where we're at in coming up on 3 hours, almost 3 hours. The good news is, Klicky is working. That wasn't working 2 weeks ago. I got it working. Massive thank you again to Turtle for that. Turtle, discovering that it was my acceleration set too high was very, very helpful. I kept thinking it was just a setting I was doing wrong in terms of positioning or the XY position that I was setting incorrectly that was causing it to travel wrong. Nope, it was just the acceleration was set far too high for what it was able to reach. We almost broke the micro USB port today, so that was fun. But yeah, everything's working, which is awesome. Again, just a little bit of tweaking, and I think we are getting really close to just letting this thing chug along for a very short while before we rip apart, leave this, and then just completely remove everything else on the bottom. So I'm looking forward to it. But I think, yeah, we'll end it here. I hope everyone has an awesome week. Thank you everyone for hanging out. Again, if you were able to stop by the 100K stream last week, it was a ton of fun, and I'm super appreciative for all the support that everybody showed. And we will, very likely next week we'll be working on the stealth burner for the Switchwire. So I'll get that posted. I'll get a stream scheduled the next couple days, so that way if you want to mark a notification, you can do that. On that note, I hope everyone has an awesome rest of their day, and hopefully I will see you guys all next week. And I think that's all I got for right now. Bye, everybody. I'll try to get the chat fixed as well. Chat is broken. Chat should be on stream. I'll try to get that fixed. Okay. Bye.